Welcome to the GRG podcast, the place for all your gaming news, plus hot topics of the week. Also, remember to follow us on Twitter at KMega4.
Welcome to the GRG podcast.
Oh, you do.
Let's go. Yeah, I do got a collar on. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. The holiday edition of GRG. This is wild. As long as I've been doing GRG, I've never done a GRG right after Thanksgiving. Never. So this is the first time. And we're light tonight, which is fine because we were definitely light last week because we wouldn't have been having a show because I think it would have been down to just me. And you know what?
No, it would have been me and you.
It would have been me and you? Oh, yeah, no, that couldn't have happened. So, no.
Yeah,
But anyway, no, it could have happened. Because I was going to come on by myself today because I haven't had any content in a minute. And I'm just like, whoa, I've been so busy taking care of life things and stuff like that. So it was more of the thing where I needed to just have some content out. And there was stuff that I've been wanting to talk about that I have not talked about. So here we are. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GRG podcast. We're approaching 300. Hey, and we're approaching almost 5,000 subs. Let's get that popping. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Be so kind to hit that subscribe button, like button, share this out. This isn't going to be a long show because I'll tell you why. 2 reasons. Look at who's on the panel. That's all you need to know about that. And then 2, K-Mega ain't playing around. I'm already ready to go. And you know how it goes. It's the sweet stuff. It ain't the good stuff like I normally have. I'm just saying, like, I'm going to drink the sweet stuff. It's going to take a little while for it to marinate and get into this system.
That white girl drink.
I do. I'm gonna be on my I'm gonna get white girl wasted here pretty soon. So I'm gonna get this sweet shit and get to it. Man. But anyway, I ain't gonna stay too long because you know how it goes.
Drunk Mega tonight.
No, you will not. Drunk Mega will be in here trying to learn how to play Mortal Kombat 1 because I'm getting cooked in that game right now. But other than that, let's get to the panel, man. Thank you guys. Let's go share this out. We are live, baby. Hey, let's go to the man right here that was saying the most foul things when he was cooking his Thanksgiving dinner. Man, I do not want people to know what you were saying in the background in the green room. But man,
I'd be scared to even go to his Thanksgiving dinner.
Bro, the way that he was saying how it hits certain areas of your mouth and stuff, I'm like, yo, look at that. Viper, what's going on with you, bro? Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there, man. Let's go.
Happy Thanksgiving to you all. And, well, yeah, it's been fun. I'm full. I think I need to go on a diet again.
Oh, yeah. After this,
yeah. It was kind of rough yesterday, but it was tasty. Tasty, just like your ad would say, succulent and juicy.
Right. I should have played that today. Shout out to HelloFresh. Go ahead and get that promo code from KMega405, man.
But
Man.
no, I mean, basically, I've been playing the new stuff that came to Game Pass. I've been playing the two Yakuza games, Like a Dragon Ishin, and the man who forgot his name or lost
Erased
his
his
name,
name.
erased his name.
Erased.
Yeah, there we go. Um, yeah, it's a lot of reading. Um, I I don't want to play the dubbed because all the stuff that I've been seeing about Yang Ye messing up the dub, whew, that that's horrible. So I think I'm gonna stick to the Japanese version. Um, and then other than that, the reason I missed last week is because now I get to save your lives. Before I was dealing with the dead bodies, now I get to pump your chest up and save your life.
Oh, okay. All right. He had to learn. So good deal.
I'm a
CPR.
lifesaver now.
Oh,
I'm a
you got
lifesaver.
your CPR certification? Let's go.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
go. Let's go.
definitely.
Let's go. My man. All right. Saving the stands out there from their own
Oh
filthy
no no no
demise. Oh, you're not
no!
gonna say
They
oh.
no
Oh.
no 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 no. There's certain people I'm gonna die. They
Oh,
gonna die.
oh,
But
oh. Okay. Okay. Damn. All right.
Mhm.
Well, let's keep it moving,
And
man.
oh
No,
wait, one more
go ahead.
thing.
Oh, yes, sir.
I have to shout out Bunty in the chat. Yes, we did have some jerk seasoning on for Thanksgiving. So yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about that jerk chicken, but in the most foul of ways. So I don't know how to feel about jerk chicken now after the way he was talking about it, Bunty. But Big Mo in the house, he's saying, "Good evening, folks. Good evening to you too." And then we got Gideon Inc., which I already know who that is. He's a troll that says that he's an Xbox guy. He comes in the Xbox parties, but really what he is a Stan in disguise, dressed in Xbox clothing. But he does play on everything, so that's all right. That's what's up. Anyway, let's get to the man right here talking about stands. The man that will be a former stand here within the next, I'd say 6 months. It's all gonna be over. What the shouting? Dark Optimus, what's going on with you, brother? Man, glad to have you on. What's been happening? How was your Thanksgiving? So all that.
It was all good, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had the all the fixings. You know,
Mm-hmm.
all the normal stuff. You know, like yams and
Latino people eat yams?
Yep, yeah.
Okay,
Well,
I didn't know that.
I'm part white too, so
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I was expecting a different type of entree. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, in the morning we had tamales and stuff like that, but we didn't. For the nighttime, it's usually the normal fixings and stuff.
Excellent.
And then just been playing revisiting Mass Effect again, just because.
I've seen a lot of that this last couple of days. People just jumping on it.
Yeah,
I
don't know why.
I
I started playing it again, and I was just like, man, I love this game. I don't know why. Like, I always forget about it, and it's always one of those games that I'm just like, I go back to, and then I remind myself that, like, man, this game was good for the time that it came out, for real. But other than that, yeah, man, I've been just working and enjoying life.
No doubt. Now, for me, I've been gaming, but I've been gaming on. But I had a serious situation. My mom had another episode, so I kind of been out of the loop. That's why you haven't seen me do a Mothar video or anything of that nature here for the last couple of weeks. So I've been tending to her, but I've still been able to game. Big shout out to the Series S, man. The Series S is a badass console because I took that over there to the country. We're talking about out here into the weeds, and she got regular internet, and so I was like, man, let me go ahead and I had COD downloaded on the S. So I went ahead and was playing it, and I was expecting to get cooked, and everything was just good, but the game felt good. It was just everything about it. Like that regardless of how many people knock the Series S, I'm telling you, the Series S is the best entry point console I think that's ever came about in any generation because it is amazing.
And that's the thing, right, K-Meg? I think people expected more from it, but then I was all like, why? It's only, what, $200, $300? You know, like,
yeah.
that's what you get. Like, you get what you pay for. I mean, if you want the best experience, you get a Series X,
right?
You know,
right.
And I did sell my Xbox, by the way.
You did, honestly?
But not my Series X. I sold my Series S.
I was gonna say, I saw you post that.
Well, one of my series, because I had two Series S's. I just needed the one.
Oh, so you kept your Series X, but you got rid of your Series S.
One of my Series S's.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, okay. Because at first this dude is trolling.
Because when I posted that up on Twitter, I was like, I didn't say what series I sold. I didn't say which Xbox I sold.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So, yeah, but yeah, Thanksgiving was really good. You know, we spent time with my family, and my wife got turned out on that sweet potato pie. So, you know what I'm saying? So now she wants to learn. Yeah. Well, not like that. We didn't have that type of party.
The way you said it, it just didn't sound right at all.
So, I guess I should chose my words different. But anyway, so.
Yeah, a little bit.
But no, but I mean, she's eaten the sweet potato pie before, but now it's kind of hit like, man. And so she asked my mom can she learn how to cook it?
Man.
Yeah, because my mom cooks it out of sight. And since my mom is now not in the best of health, she wants to learn how to make it. And so she asked my mom, and my mom gave her the rite of passage. And so right at that point, I knew she's definitely locked into the family, because now, you know what I'm saying, is what it is. So then today, I spent time with her family and friends, and so, but we had all the trimmings, man, you know what I'm saying? So my wife out here now, you know, seeing how Soul Plates is made. So she made some homemade macaroni and cheese, her first attempts. It wasn't bad at all, pretty good. But then, like, man, you know, had all the fixes and stuff like that. Now I have to do the correcting, you know what I'm saying? Because she made stuffing instead of dressing. And so now we got to get her on that track. But other than that, everything else was fantastic. But I'm telling you, the sweets, man, I'm telling you, that's why I got to go back to the gym here, man. I'm going to gain some weight on this one, because she made apple crumble cake. She made peach cobbler. We got pecan pie. She bought a Patti LaBelle sweet potato pie. They got a pumpkin pie, a pumpkin cake, some kind of pumpkin cake thing. It looked delicious. I'm not touching it though, but it looked good because the whole setup of how, because my mom, I was gonna say my mom, my wife is a former pastry chef, so all this stuff, so that's why she likes to bake and stuff like that. She hasn't really been able to do it in a while, so now she's getting back into the groove. So and then of course we got cookies, and we got like these little crumple things. I mean, these little trinks, and like it's so many sweets. I'm in trouble. But you know what? The only thing sweet right now that I'm going to be eating on or drinking on is going to be on this sweet ass drink. Oh, it's good. It's so sugary. I don't like sugary drinks, but whatever.
Yeah, I've never been a big in alcohol, sugary drink type of guy.
Because it was a bunch of ladies that was going to be here, so I bought, you know, the sweet stuff.
Now, if it was whiskey or scotch, then yeah, that's a different story.
And see, I had
sometimes that's sweet a little bit, but it's not like.
Yeah, I had some Douce, like but I went to the homie's house, and then me and him, we drunk it down. Like, I was like, oh my God. I said, well, and I'm not spending another $60 for some Douce. So I was like, well, I got all these other sweet drinks out there. So, but anyway, but let's get to it, man. I'm really having a good time. But I've been gaming on Call of Duty, playing a lot of Call of Duty, played a lot of Halo, and now I'm finally getting back into my fighters. And sadly, Mortal Kombat 1 is very, 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 very difficult for me right now. So I have no choice but to bring out the fight stick, because for some reason the controls is just not working for me, especially for the characters I want to use. And so I'm getting cooked. My record is horrible in MK1. But I jump back, and we'll be talking about Killer Instinct here later on tonight. But jump back on Killer Instinct, Street Fighter, Naruto Connections. I'm back on the fighting tip. I'm really happy about it. So we'll definitely I'll be talking about that more going into the future. So, and Fight Night will return during the holidays, during the beginning of the year. Maybe right after Christmas. So look forward to that. Anyway, so let's get started, man. We don't have that many topics tonight, and I don't plan on being a really long show tonight, but we have to talk about this since I haven't talked about this with anybody except for people in the back channels, and that is about the Xbox so-called tax. Is it real? Is it something that is is it something that people should have already been knowing because of what's going on with the media? Is it Xbox gamers that's out here that's overreacting? I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna go right to you and get your thoughts about this, Dark. Because I mean, look, you're starting to now see studios, people, individuals from studios, from like Rare. Also, now we just recently seen something that was from I think it was from Sledgehammer, I believe. It was somebody that was when they were representing Modern Warfare 3 that was getting out here and calling out this stuff. But there are still people out here saying that there's no such thing as an Xbox tax. It's this the first comment that we had on GRG is right here from Gideon saying that Xbox tax isn't real. Xbox just need to make better games. What's your thought, Dart? Is there an Xbox tax? Yes or no?
In my humble opinion, no. But there's a reason for it. Because I was told from many Xbox dudes that accolades don't matter. Game of the year don't matter.
Okay.
That's what I was told. Maybe not from you guys, but from other people from on Twitter and stuff like that. I was told that accolades and game of the year doesn't matter. But now it seems to matter when Starfield doesn't get nominated for game of the year. So that's where it started with the whole Xbox tax. At least from what I've looked up, is that's where it started. That's why people weren't, they weren't happy because Starfield didn't get nominated for Game of the Year. Which, to me, honestly, I think Hi-Fi Rush should have gotten nominated because it was a better game and it had a way higher score. I mean, it was like 87 on Metacritic. I mean, it was literally like, it was literally right there next to Alan Wake 2, like in terms of grade. And the only reason why I don't think there's an Xbox tax, because if you're looking at some of the reviews of these games, like, I mean, if you look at Quantum Break, it's at a 78, right? That's still in the green. You look at Sunset Overdrive, that's in the 80s. That's in the green, But I was also told that Metacritic don't matter. But now all of a sudden it does. All of a sudden now it does because Starfield didn't get nominated. I mean, I'm just saying. This is what I've been being told, right? I mean, doesn't bot always say meta who?
Oh yeah.
So reviews don't matter then, right? But I guess that they do because there's a tax, right? I guess.
Okay.
So, I mean, to me, I just don't. I don't think there is one because of the fact that I think there's a lot of games that come out on Xbox that do really well. And also, like, for me, it doesn't matter. Like, honestly, I actually put up a poll for the VGAs. I know it wasn't very many people, but there was like 52 people who voted, right? And they all said that they watch it for the game for the not even the nominations, but for the new game announcements and stuff. They watch it for that. Like, majority of people don't watch the Game Awards for the accolades. They don't. I mean, that's also one of the reasons why I saw it earlier this week. I think it was earlier this week or earlier last week. It might have been last week, but I think it was Cold Eastwood who said, the gaming needs its own Oscars, and I was all like, no, it don't. No, it doesn't. If they had their own Oscars, you know how they do, which is the BAFTAs or Dice Awards, those types of But nobody watches those. Nobody, people look up to see what is won, but they don't go out of their way to watch them or anything like that. Like they just don't. So like for it to be like the Oscars, like how boring that show would be. Like to be exactly like the Oscars, it would be a boring show. I think the reason why, it's with Keeley's show is it's just really just the to see the new games, to see the new announcements, because I sure as hell don't care about what gets Game of the Year. I think it because most of the time, Game of the Year for me is always different. Usually, do usually like something that wasn't either on the list or is on the list but never wins anyways. So it's just like, and plus, I mean, if we were really gonna sit here and say that there is a tax, then why did Psychonauts 2 get nominated for Game of the Year?
Okay. All right.
And that was owned by Microsoft at the time when because they bought them in 2019 and that was nominated in 2021. So they owned them for 2 years by at that point.
Yeah, they helped.
So that's just how I feel. I mean, I know you guys are gonna have other opinions. That's fine. There's no like there's no
over there just waiting.
I mean, there's no real like I don't have anything against Xbox or anything. I don't, because I never have. I will always have a love for Xbox, but I just don't feel like there's a tax. That's just how I feel. Just from what I've seen and what I've witnessed. That's because that's where I feel that it was brought up was during the time of when Starfield got snubbed for Game of the Year or whatever. But there was plenty of games that got snubbed for Game of the Year. Diablo 4 completely got snubbed for Game of the Year. like even I think Final Fantasy 16 got snubbed for Game of the Year, even though it wasn't my.
We'll talk about Game of the Year next. This is like a little segue to it, but I just want to talk about the Xbox tax, and you just don't feel like there is. Okay.
No, I just don't. I don't feel like there is. I mean, you guys will have differences of opinion, but
why are you over here saying that we're going to have a difference of opinion?
Because I already know what you guys are going to bring up. I already know what you guys are going to bring up. So it's not like, because you're not going to change my mind, and I'm not going to change yours, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, I'm just a host, man. I just wanted to hear your thought process.
Your
thought process about it. Like, I mean, and everything is that's why we're here. So
I mean, no matter what anybody says, people are going to believe what they want to believe, right? Like they're going to believe that there is one, or they're not going to believe that there is one. Nothing, no one or anything is going to change your.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, all right, Viper. Now, I mean, Dark made a compelling point. And I will bring this point up that he said that stuck out to me.
This man is wild, bro. Like,
Viper.
Viper.
Okay. So the point that he said was that if there wasn't some kind of
like with his pinky up.
Yeah. He said if there was an Xbox tax, then Psychonauts 2 would not have been nominated for Game of the Year in 2021. Now, that is a legitimate point. He just feels that. Now, he did not say anything of what was said from Gideon from the beginning of the show in the chat, where he says that Xbox tax isn't real. Xbox just needs to make better games. So obviously he doesn't agree with that. But
no, I don't. I think Xbox is on the right track to making some of the best games that we probably have seen in their history of gaming.
Okay. That's okay. Good deal. And so I'm going to get to you, but before, one more thing I got to do, and I got to give a big shout out to Web Dave. I did do some content with him. We did he did an interview, and I really do appreciate that. I'm always humble when people want to ask me to come on and just talk about my gaming history, things like that. So thank you, Web Dave. Really do appreciate it. We're definitely going to have to get you and your team up on here on GRG at some point. Definitely beginning of the next year. Hopefully, you'll have the time to come on through. What you shaking your head for? What you
No,
for?
just reading what Sir X-Man said in the chat.
Okay, all right, yeah, Sir X-Man. We're gonna hit that up. We're gonna hit that up. We're gonna hear what Sir X-Man said. But your time to go. You've been waiting patiently, and it seems like you have a lot to say there, Viper. So, your thoughts? Is there an Xbox tax?
Yes.
Okay.
That's just flat out. There's yes, because there is a bias in the media. Everybody has their preference in terms of what console that they want to play, what platform they want to be associated with. So when you are a media corporation that is constantly, you know, reporting on video games, but the platform that's in the lead is PlayStation. So you're going to ask for PlayStation codes because they're the platform in the lead. You want your clicks. You also you also have a bias, obviously. So you're going to be more concerned about PlayStation because every time there's a multi-plat game, how many reviews is on PlayStation versus how many reviews is on Xbox? When it's a a game that is strictly exclusive to Xbox, they still get a small amount of reviews. In addition to that, people are a little bit more harsher with Xbox than they are with PlayStation because I've noticed a lot of the bugs that show up in games, specifically Spider-Man 2, let's call that one out, compared to the bugs that were in Starfield, because there were some bugs in Starfield. I'm not going to lie about that. But there were significantly more bugs in Spider-Man than there was in Starfield. But those weren't called out. Let's talk about Gran Turismo 7 versus Forza Motorsport. They did not, you know, provide the information about the online stuff or the microtransactions. And what did they get? They got a bunch of 10s. They got a bunch of 9s. I mean, they were giving it a lot of praise for GT7. But then when Forza comes out, no egregious microtransactions. You have everything right then and there. You've got better quality graphics, better quality racing, much more. Um, this is just a better overall experience in Forza Motorsport. But what did they give that? They gave that a very low. Was it a low 80s or was it the high 80s? I don't remember.
It was low 80s.
But
low to
yeah,
mid, yeah.
So, and those came out a year apart. So you're trying to tell me the egregious nature of what Sony is doing, you're not going to talk about it. But the things that Microsoft is trying to do well, you basically still say, oh, well, they didn't have enough content in there. Well, neither did GT7 when it started. Same thing with Hi-Fi Rush. What did Metro UK say on their review? Oh, because Microsoft didn't bring out a consistent amount of games previously, we can't give it a high score.
Oh, wow.
That's biased to me.
Can you answer me one question then?
Go ahead.
So then reviews matter then?
Reviews does matter because you know what? They're on the board for the game of the year. See, the same people
then they matter. But before I was told they don't matter.
Listen, you're hearing that from one person. You're hearing that from
I'm hearing that from a lot of people.
Xbox does not represent all of the Xbox community. Okay, that's one person's opinion. Now you may hear
it wasn't just one person. It was more than one.
No.
It was more than him.
No, you may hear certain people's opinion, but that's not the majority of the Xbox community. When you hear people calling out bullshit, you need to look at the stuff for what it is. Don't just be saying that, oh, well, you guys are upset because your favorite game didn't get nominated. Okay, yeah, we may be upset that the game didn't get nominated, but we have to look at the underlying factors of why did Dan Stapleton say that, oh, if Starfield and if Elder Scrolls 6 becomes Xbox exclusive, there's going to be hell to pay. Didn't he say that?
He said
something to that extent.
He did say
Dan
that.
Stapleton,
What?
the head editor of IGN, said if any of these games become Xbox exclusive, there's going to be hell to pay. And he specifically mentioned Starfield. He specifically mentioned Elder Scrolls 6. I think he also said Fallout 5. They're pissed off because Microsoft bought
well, then
ZeniMax.
I could say that's just one person too. Then that doesn't he doesn't
Well, no,
represent
because
he doesn't represent the media as a whole. Then at that point, right?
didn't I say he's the head editor of IGN?
Oh,
Yeah, but he doesn't
IGN.
represent
then-
all of IGN.
Yes, he does.
He's the head
Just
editor.
because he's the
he
one that said that,
determines
but doesn't mean that he represents the employees that say differently.
If he's
He
the head
determines
editor,
who-
come on, Dark. Come on, bro. You
Yes,
know
he
that.
does. Yes, he
I'm just saying he doesn't represent everybody at that company. So
Yes,
Alright.
he is the head editor. He represents all of IGN.
he doesn't
he's the
represent
one
all of
who-
IGN, dude. Because there's
He
plenty of people.
determines.
Because clearly
determines
Destin
who-
works there. Destin works there, and he doesn't feel like there's anything like that.
And
And
I'm
he
gonna
loves
get to
Xbox.
Destin real quick. But first of all, he does determine who's gonna review a game. He said, nope, nobody else is gonna review Starfield. I'm gonna do it. That's what he said. In addition to, let's go to Destin now, since you want to bring him up.
Hmm.
Destin, his video is a piece of shit because he works for IGN. His job is on the line. He has to toe the line. He's not going to say there's an Xbox tax. He does say that he calls out Sony, he calls out Xbox, but he's supposed to say that because he still works for IGN. If he wasn't working for IGN, he could say whatever the hell he wants to say. Let's go back to Metro UK. You want to say that, oh, that's just one person or one media outlet. There's other media outlets. How come Survivor got blacklisted by Sony? Because they didn't give them a high review. How come Sony blacklists companies for not giving them high reviews? If you get blacklisted, you're not going to get review copies. So there is a bias. And there's a reason why there's a bias, because Sony is the one that's in control of it. Microsoft doesn't play that game. Go ahead.
So what you're saying is that you guys don't have biases then too.
We do have a bias, but we're honest about our bias. The fact is that when these
I think they're pretty honest about their biases. Everybody's biased, dude. Everybody's biased, man. Everybody is biased.
When you're in media, you're not supposed to be
You
biased.
have to be.
Yes,
That's just human nature, is to be biased towards something.
No.
Somebody people are biased towards
to report the
people
facts.
are biased towards no, because reviews are opinions, they're not facts.
Okay, so
that's why
then we need to change the review system.
There.
We need to change the review system because that's the reason
how are you going to
why.
make how are you going to change the review system if there's going to be a bias either way? Even if you had gamers who reviewed games like you, if you reviewed a game for PlayStation, you would probably give it a lower score because of your biases, dude. That's what I'm saying.
No,
yes, you would.
This is what's
yes,
happening.
you absolutely would.
Let me explain what I'm going to tell you right now.
I'm just going to say here and drink.
IGN has certain people that review certain games, and a lot of those reviews, a lot of those people don't like the game that they're reviewing, but they have to review the game because it's their job. So
yeah, it's your job.
So you're going to give it a low score because you don't play that game. You don't like that game, but you have to do it. You're forced to do it.
Somebody has to do it.
So find somebody who actually likes that genre of game. Instead
maybe
of
that person
wasn't
available at the time.
Okay, but
come on,
I'm just saying that, like,
come on, Dark.
You're skirting around the issue.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody's going to have their bias.
You're skirting.
Everybody has their bias, though.
I understand everybody has their bias, but when you're in journalism, You're in the media.
No,
You're
dude,
supposed
no, because
Mhm.
guess what? If you were in journalism, you would have your biases
Mhm.
too. I guarantee it.
I
I
I would
guarantee
have
you
to
would have your
I would
biases.
have to check. I would have to check my biases at the door and report
No,
on the
you
stuff.
wouldn't. No, you
Yes, I would
wouldn't.
have to.
Because
You
no, you
have
wouldn't.
to.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Then
Because
Okay.
nobody's gonna trust you.
All right.
That's
Well,
the
hold on.
problem.
Okay.
Nobody's
So,
gonna trust you.
okay. So let me ask you this question right here then.
nobody trusts the
Viper.
media anyways. Why do you even
Well,
care about the media? You guys don't even care about the media anyways. You guys say the media
hold on.
is
Hold on.
is
Hold on. Let me ask you guys
biased.
both a legitimate question.
If
Okay, on the
Xbox
bias
is selling,
situation.
then yeah, I can see that.
Okay, let me both ask you both ask you a legitimate question about this bias situation, right?
Don't F me.
Okay.
Don't
All
F
right.
me.
Okay, so
Dang.
Viper. Okay, since you of course bias of PlayStation, things like that. Give me an honest score of what you would give Spider-Man. Honest score of what you would give it.
Honest score. I mean, if because of the fact that there was all those bugs that was in it, so technically the game is in a way broken. Okay, not completely because not everybody had all of those bugs, but the majority of the bugs that we were seeing online, and the fact that you're falling through the floor, through the environment, and you're T-posing. You see people T-posing. You see people riding the bike, and the bike is going into the ground. I mean, that's game breaking. Sometimes people had been pushed back to the dashboard because their thing froze up on them. That right there is a problem. In addition to that, the ending of Spider-Man 2, the story that they had, that was crap. Now, throughout the game, everybody was saying it was okay. In terms of with Craven, they should have done a little bit more with Craven. I had a chance to play Spider-Man on a friend's PlayStation 5. It was okay, but the Craven storyline, they could have done more with it. You should have been able to do more with Venom. In terms of the whole Mary Jane stuff, fine. If that's the way he wanted to do it, let him do it that way. That's his choice. But overall, I felt that the game it suffered in many areas, and the 8, it shouldn't have been an 8. Should be maybe a 7.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So you give it a 7. All right.
I give it a 7, and all the
okay,
people
so
that want to give it, a 10 as a perfect score, no, the game was not perfect.
oh no, okay, but I'll get all that.
That's a problem I have with all of the media.
I'm just asking you your thoughts of what you would give Spider-Man honestly. Now, Dark, for you, Redfall. Give me your honest score for Redfall.
Oh, it's a 5, dude.
Okay, so I guess you both got biases like that. See, for me, okay, explain.
But that's an opinion, right?
Well, yeah,
There's a difference between opinions.
Okay, so you said a 5.
And there's a difference between opinions and fact. That's not a fact that I gave it a 5. It's just that's how my opinion is on the game.
Well,
because when I played it, I didn't.
As well. I would have given Redfall a 5 as well. So I wouldn't say that's not a bias on my part right there.
But other people would give it an 8 or a 9. Other people out there that would give it that. There's other people out there that would give it that. So I'm just saying that everybody has a bias. Everyone has that. Every single gamer, every single media outlet has a bias.
I agree. Period. But I feel that both of you guys,
you can't even be human without having some sort of bias.
No, but then again, there's a level of fairness, right? For me, for instance, like this is the thing for me. Right?
I think Xbox has been treated fair quite a bit. I mean, look at all the Forza games that have gotten above an 80. All of them, almost all of them, except for Forza Motorsport 5.
You don't consider any of the Forza. You don't consider the Forza games should have got an 8 or higher.
No, I think they did. I think they deserve it. Yes.
Okay.
But certain games, yes, deserve certain things, and some games you just know that they just don't deserve it.
Okay.
Like I just played RoboCop. Okay, I just played RoboCop Rogue City.
Mm-hmm.
Rogue City. I would give that game an 8 out of 10. but a lot of people would probably give that game a 6 or a 7 out of 10.
No, that game is getting high acclaims and I don't see the game is fun. The game is
okay.
is
Well,
fun,
then maybe
pure
that's a bad
fun.
example. Okay,
That's a bad example.
A bad example. Okay,
Right.
Quantum Break. I gave that game a 9 out of 10 because I thought it was a fantastic game. I loved that game.
Okay.
But a lot of people gave it a 7, lower than a 7. They gave it a 6. They gave it a 4. They gave it a 5.
They didn't play it.
But that's the thing. Like, these are all opinions.
Okay,
No,
let's
I
look
get that.
at something. Let's look at Sunset Overdrive.
But
The
then also, you
precursor
guys
to
say
Spider-Man.
reviews don't matter.
Hold on. Let's look at Sunset Overdrive, the precursor to Spider-Man. Because it was on Xbox, it got low scores.
No, it
Right?
didn't. No, it
Yes,
didn't.
it did.
No, it didn't.
did.
No,
It
it
did.
didn't.
Did-
What
No,
game?
it did not.
Eights
dude.
and go. All right, let's look it up.
What
Let's look
game?
it up here.
What game?
I'm looking it up
Sunset
right now, dude.
Overdrive.
What game are you talking about?
Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah,
Sunset Overdrive is an 81 on Metacritic.
Okay, that's low 80s.
Yeah, that's a
And then-
great
And,
score.
and yeah, it's a great score, but then before you guys are saying, oh, Xbox can't get 90 Metacritics anymore. They're getting the low 80s. They're getting 70s, 60s. Why is that? Because it's on Xbox. But
No,
if
it wasn't because it was on
the
Xbox.
same-
Because
the
at that
same
time,
people-
they were
Oh,
making
boy.
games that weren't getting in the high 80s. They were Sea of Thieves wasn't getting a high score.
but
State of
Sunset
Decay
Overdrive-
2, Recore wasn't getting a high score at that time because
Okay.
they just weren't. They were mediocre type of games for a lot
the
of people.
same-
For
the
me,
same
no.
Oh, okay, I
people-
But
gotta
a lot of
jump
people
in
were.
on this. Okay, Viper, I'm because I gotta jump in on this one. But I gotta say this. All right, so this is where the problem lies. Listen to what you just said. You said, okay, you loved Quantum Break, but Quantum Break
Yeah.
got 6s.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, Quantum Break does not deserve a 6. That game,
But that's
is not a
in
6.
my
That
opinion.
game
It
didn't
doesn't
have
deserve
no.
6.
No.
But in other people's opinions, it does deserve a 6.
No, it doesn't. Because you know what?
Yes, it does, because it's an opinion. That's why reviews are opinion pieces.
I get that, but you're saying that there's no
They're opinion
bias.
pieces.
You said that there's bias, but there's no bias between the media. So which one is it?
Thank
There
you.
is bias. There is bias
You said
on
that,
all
but you
fronts.
said, but there is no bias there's no Xbox tax. There's no bias towards
There's
Xbox.
no Xbox tax because there wouldn't. Why would these games get high reviews if there was a tax?
I'll tell you why. All you got to do is go look this up. Since you're looking things up, go look back at this just came out just the other day, talking about Quantum Break was a great game. You can go play it right now. But they were the same people that gave Quantum Break a low score when it first came out on Xbox.
Thank
One.
you.
That right there lets you know that is a bias. The only reason why they're saying something about it now is because that game is well out from the and there's no sequel to it.
I think you guys look at biases as like opinions. When I think of biases, I think of them as
okay.
fact. If
All right.
if it was fact that game was trash, then it would be trash. But that's the same thing with Starfield. Like Starfield got what, an 83, right, on Metacritic.
Mhm.
I don't think that game was deemed in the light of the media that it was a bad game. I don't think anybody said that it was a terrible game. Yes, there were PlayStation ponies out there.
It got
that.
sick. It got a 6 from an IGN writer. It got a 6 from
No, it got a 7. It got
a 7, and then it got a 6 from Metro, from Metro, whatever they're called, and then also got a low score from
Metro
PC.
UK.
Yeah, Metro UK, and it got a low score from PC, from the PC.
And Giant Bomb.
Yeah,
Giant Bomb gave it a 40.
right. Like that. Yeah, like
Well,
what?
then that's just how they feel about the game. I mean, that's. I mean, I can't sit here and say
It right now
But
because
that doesn't
Alan
make
Wake
any
2 is nominated
sense.
for Game of the Year.
Right.
Why?
Well, Alan Wake 2, I think Alan
because
Wake
it's
2,
an 87 on Metacritic. That's why.
Hold on. Whoa. We'll get into the nominee stuff here next.
IGN gave it a 9, by the way.
But yeah, I did. Gave what a 9? Alan Wake. Yeah, Alan Wake. Okay,
Yeah.
but we'll get into the nomination stuff and all that aspect here. But this is another thing you said, Dark, that I got to poke holes at. You was talking about, because when Viper brought up about the editor-in-chief responsibilities, And you said, well, it just doesn't really matter, or it's not that big of a deal. They don't have that much of a say-so. Let me read this to you. What an editor-in-chief responsibilities are: hiring and developing writers, junior editors, and senior editors, approving the publication's layout, design, style, and tone, reviewing written content for spelling and grammar errors, fact-checking information in articles and stories. That is a huge indicator, because I tell you why. If you're going to hire somebody that was a former Sony employee, and let's also make this other point too, when you also have someone that came out, and when IGN did come out and say something against The Last of Us 2, for instance, right? What happened when Sony flexed their muscle and said, look, we'll blacklist your ass? How did all that happen? How everything changed, and all of a sudden all these, why is there no Microsoft editors or writers or anything out there? There's a few, but they're being overtaken by people who are more Sony appropriated, because the head editor-in-chief is the person who's hiring and telling people what to write, what not to write. That's the situation right there that I got to poke holes in. Your thoughts?
But do you have any evidence that he's telling people to write that stuff?
All you got to do is look and see what they write every damn day.
No, that's not evidence. That's not evidence to them writing what he tells them to write.
Come on now, dog.
If they came out and said, yes, this is what he told me to write. If an ex person who was at IGN came out and said, yes, this is what Dan Stapleton told me to write, and this is why there's bias in the media.
If the people that he's hiring, well, no.
But there's no evidence of that he's told them to write it.
Oh, you can see it. You can see it in the writing from what we see from the headlines and what they say in the articles. Bro, it's no different than in politics.
Wait.
Okay, no, hold on. One thing. I'm just going to throw one thing of politics in here. Univision sit there and got rid of the former editor-in-chief. They picked up somebody else that's now the new head of Univision, who is that is friends and tight knit with Kushner, which is Trump's son-in-law, and they got a partnership. And then what just happened just last week? I don't know if people, like I said, I don't know how many people pay attention to politics. Well, they will no longer take Biden ads. They will no longer take Biden ads, and they now show Trump rallies. If you don't say that those things aren't affected by when people are watching Univision, which is the biggest single Latino publication that there is out there, and somebody says, well, we're not going to take this, but we're going to add more content of this, that's not a bias.
Don't you think?
Come on, brother. Don't do that. It's the same thing.
No, hold on.
Okay, all right.
So don't you think if there was a bias against Xbox,
yes,
it would sell as well as it does?
If there was no bias, yeah, it would sell more. It would sell more. But also, Xbox put...
It sells well. What are you talking about?
No, Xbox
it sells as well.
But Xbox will sell a lot more.
Why does it matter what the media thinks about Xbox? If you guys are loving it and you guys are playing it, then what does it matter? That's what That's what I'm trying to say.
All we asking as Xbox fans is like, look, you criticized for Redfall. That deserved to be criticized. If you wanted to give it a 4, that's fine. It shouldn't have brought that game out there like that. But there is no way in hell that you can sit here and dog a game out like Quantum Break for all those years, and then all of a sudden bring out a publication and say, well, now this game is really great. You do realize that
most of the person that reviewed Quantum Break is no longer with IGN anyways?
But that's the whole point of the matter is that like it doesn't make sense.
There's different people there now.
I know that. But
so it's more
different. People that's out here that's catering to one company or two companies and not catering
There's
to
always
all
gonna
three.
Be biases, bro. There's always gonna be
but
that.
It's too evident. Okay.
But it doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter though, because guess what? You guys play on Xbox. Yeah. No, you guys have told me that reviews don't matter because they're opinions. That accolades don't matter. Accolades. So what you're saying is that accolades
I've never said accolades don't matter. I never said that accolades don't matter.
Accolades matter then.
That's a
accolades matter.
I've always said accolades matter. I never said that's
accolades matter
reviews
and reviews don't. Okay.
Reviews don't.
Well then why are we trying to why are we arguing about it?
No, because the point. Listen, at one time reviews mattered, but because of the fact of the way the system has been,
I think they still matter now.
They can't when you see the biasness within what's
people
going
still
on.
People still play
when
the games that come out that are high rated. People still play those games, man.
When you have studios themselves call it out and say, "Look, this is very odd." We just like when the people at Activision sat here and just posted just the other day and said, "Look, Vanguard was looked at as the worst Call of Duty and whatever, blah 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 blah." Right? How is it that Modern Warfare 3 is getting far worse reviews, but we having the best engagement that we've had in a long time, and this game is getting in the public loves this game? What's the problem?
The people who reviewed those games, that was their opinion, and then now gamers have their own opinion, so they sit there and they say, "Oh well, I actually like this game."
Oh yeah, no,
okay, tell us about Hogwarts Legacy.
What about it?
Hold on, y'all are ready to get to that. That's the nominee thing. We'll talk about that.
Well,
in a second.
It's actually combines together. They're all flowing into
each other.
They
all flow into each other because the only way that the only time that I ever heard about the Xbox tax, and I looked it up, the Xbox tax started because people were upset that Starfield didn't get Game of the Year nomination.
No.
Yes, it did.
Oh, no.
That's literally. Look it up right now.
I've experienced it. I've been doing content creating for almost 10 years.
I'm looking it up right now. Xbox tax is shorthand for perceived discrimination by the Game Awards against total associated with Xbox. And it quickly began trending on social media after the 2023 Game Awards. The nominees were announced.
That's the word. We're talking about the biasness that it didn't have a word like Xbox tax back then. That bias has been there since 2013.
You're moving the goalposts and making it Xbox tax
There's no goalposts. There's no more goalposts. You're moving the goalposts.
So you're giving it a word now then.
People are giving it a word. I mean, you can call it whatever you want to.
Well, you just said it was an Xbox tax.
I said is the Xbox tax real? I asked the question: Is the tax real? You said no.
I seen you on Twitter earlier saying Xbox tax. I seen him saying Xbox tax.
Yes, because if whatever that you want to call it.
So what you're saying is that
bias for years. But
okay,
you know what I'm saying? If people want to label it as a tax, then that's fine. But I just said it's been biased since it all started. The first time that it threw me off, when it caught me off guard, is when Gears Ultimate came out, and then God of War Remastered, God of War 3 Remastered came out, and then when God of War 3 had a higher rating than Gears Ultimate,
no, it didn't. No,
yes, it did.
No, it doesn't. I already proved that to you in the DM, bro.
Look at IGN.
I already proved it on the DM.
It had a higher.
If you're going by one,
IGN is the biggest
company.
If
you're going by one company, then yes.
Publication in gaming, yes or no?
If you're going by one company, then yes. They're probably. You can make a
yes or no.
If you're going by one company, then and you want to sit there and say that there's a
drop your pants.
No, hold on.
I said IGN.
Hold on.
Come on, bro.
Hold on. No, if you want to go by one company and you want to say that they have a bias, then yes. But as the media as a whole having a bias, but the media as a whole being biased.
But there's more. I got more.
Is that what you're trying to say?
I got more.
Are you trying to say?
There's
are you trying to say that there's a bias
into here and has a bias towards Xbox? Yes.
Literally, God of War 3 Remastered has an 81 on Metacritic, and Gears of War Ultimate has a
82.
82. Okay, but that you said on what? On Metacritic, right?
You can say that IGN has a bias then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you can say that.
Biggest publication of the biggest publication. It is the biggest gaming. It is the biggest gaming publication. What's the biggest gaming publication?
It's not the biggest.
What's the biggest gaming publication? It's who?
I would say probably Game Informer is the biggest
No,
company
it's
right
not.
now at this
No,
point.
Game
it,
Informer is no longer the biggest. No,
no,
it
it's
was way back in
IGN.
the day, but not
Yeah,
now.
not now.
It's
No,
IGN.
it's IGN. And my point of this, and also adding more to this as well. All I got to do is you go into the
Then
years.
don't listen to IGN then.
Well, I don't. I'm just bringing. This is a topic. We're content creators.
I just
we're
don't
talking
understand
about
why
this.
you guys care if you
because
love
it's-
Xbox and you play on Xbox and all that matters
But
is
we
that
don't-
you're enjoying what you're enjoying.
But
Then what does it matter?
It goes further than that. It goes further than that because you.
Why
don't
does it go further than that?
Because of the fact of just
Because
because like when
the same
everybody
people
wants
that
to.
Xbox
the
is-
same people,
If
see, now-
Xbox is giving you games that you want, Xbox is continuing to make consoles. They're continuing to do what you want them to do.
Mhm.
Then what does it matter what IGN says or what GameSpot says
Because
or what
as the
any of
biggest
these media
public,
says?
because as the biggest publication out there, you want them to be fair. That's all you ask for. Nobody's saying that everything has to be on Xbox the same rating as a Nintendo or PlayStation game.
I think didn't they give Sunset Overdrive a 9? IGN?
I have no idea. I
They
don't know.
did.
I don't know.
They did.
I don't know.
They actually did.
And
I
if they-
remember
and if they-
because
and if they
I
did-
remember that
If
review.
they did, it's because it's a Insomniac.
And guess what? That
and
guy's
they
no
wanted to
longer
remind
there
you that no, hold on. And if you want, and if it reminds you, and if they wanted to remind
now
you,
you're splitting hairs.
No,
now
I'm
you
not.
want to
I'm
split
just being
hairs.
real because
Yes,
that's
you
what
are.
they-
You're
that's
splitting
what they-
hairs.
That's what they
You're
would-
splitting
I
hairs
guarantee-
because you're
I didn't
saying
even read
because
that.
it's an Xbox
I
game.
will-
It's
I
still
will
an Xbox
guarantee
game.
you. I will guarantee you 100%. I will guarantee you a game.
Didn't they
that-
just give Forza Motorsport
Come on, man.
an 8?
Listen to what I'm just saying. I will guarantee you. I haven't even read the review about Sunset Overdrive. That they would bring out in that review of an Xbox exclusive that Insomniac works on PlayStation games in that damn review. I guarantee you they brought that up for there, and that would be one of the reasons why. I bet you they did. I bet you they did.
They
People,
didn't.
chat, please let me go ahead and let me cook them. But again, let's keep it going. I'm not done yet. All you got to do is go to like Revive Games, REV Games. It was when Adam Schlesinger left XPlay and went and he started doing his own thing with Terra. I think Terra something. I forgot who that her last name. And they tried to start their own kind of X-Play thing. It was called Revive Games or Rev Games or something like that. And they had a whole bunch of different like segments of different stuff. Like and one girl got really popular because she had really big boobs and she talked about science and she wore glasses. It was some blonde. I forgot her name. She was kind of hot though too. But she would always bring up stuff about science. But anyway, they had that whole what the hell was that? Oh, that was somebody in there. Okay, but they talked about all this other stuff, and then there was this guy. He was a PC guy. He had glasses, and they were doing a review on an Xbox game. And dude said this out of his mouth and did not show no shame about it. He talked about how much he couldn't stand the Xbox One. He felt that the Xbox One was a useless console because of the TV
and
the
that's
TV
his
features.
opinion.
But he's a reviewer.
That's his
They
opinion.
were talking about they had every Friday they would go in a park or they would get together in the building
so what you're
office or
telling me
whatever
is
saying
that
this. But the more and more
if
you have
you-
people like this, and this is not the only person that done this, Dark. There's more.
So you're
people
telling me
like
you
this
wouldn't
in
do the same.
industry
You're
that
telling
has
me
a
that
problem of
Viper, you
seeing
wouldn't do the
Xbox
same against that because
succeed.
I've heard you say PlayStation is trash. I've heard you say that.
Who, me?
Viper.
Oh,
No,
I was gonna
Viper.
say, I
I've
never
heard
said
him
it was
say-
trash.
I said Sony as a company. Sony as a company is trash. Didn't
So
say
that's
PlayStation is
so
trash. I
that's
said
so that's
Sony
PlayStation
as a
then, right?
company.
so
No,
then
not
so then what's wrong with
necessarily.
people saying that Microsoft is trash?
Because are they saying Microsoft or are they saying Xbox? Because remember,
Most people
I
say
can
Microsoft,
just
but
okay, so it's not Xbox that they're saying is trash. They're saying Microsoft is trash, right? I distinguish it like this: Sony, the company, they have bad customer service. They make products that are cheap and expensive.
that's your
They're
opinion.
They're cheap. Excuse me.
That's your
They have
opinion, though.
cheaply made. They have cheaply made products, but they charge an exorbitant amount of for those products. Their TVs are crap.
It's the
to
same.
me.
It's the same thing
So-
with
I
Apple
think
and
that's right, the
it's the
TV
same
is.
thing with Apple and Android. There's Android people and there's Apple people. And there's always going to be people who say that Apple's trash, and there's always going to be people who say that Android's trash. And it's just inevitable, man. And you guys are sitting here and you guys are saying that there's an Xbox tax. Well, guess what? There's going to continue to be a tax because guess what? People are going to have their biases.
No question.
Everybody, if gamers were reviewers, it would be worse. When it comes to reviews,
because they get into Metacritic.
It would be worse, though. It would be worse.
Metacritic is useless.
And that's what I'm saying. It's getting worse, and it's getting worse. So what should we do? Should we just not have reviews at all, though?
As long as people ain't giving proper reviews, I don't care. Cut them off. I don't care.
I think they're giving proper reviews because that's their
Who's
opinion.
Giving out proper reviews when you're giving
that's their opinion.
Okay, no. Hold on. Wait a minute.
If that's their opinion,
now you're full of bullshit. Now you're full of bullshit. I'm gonna tell you
how.
How? Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you can sit there and give a game a 10, a perfect score, that is a falsity. There is no, and then when people question you,
they have even said that a 10 isn't a perfect score. It's just what there's
that
it was just
no
a
sense,
score
though.
that's
an excuse.
That's what they say, though. That's what I'm saying is that they're saying that it gave it a 7, they gave it a 10, even though it had minor problems. Even though it had minor problems, they still gave it a 10 because it was such a great game.
Starfield got 10.
What's the highest?
Yeah, because those games probably deserved it.
What's
the highest score that you can possibly get? Starfield deserve no 10.
It's 10.
They don't deserve 10.
The possible score that you can get is a 10.
They don't deserve 10.
There's a lot of games that deserve 10.
No, there's not a lot of games that deserve 10.
But that's why they've never said that it was a perfect score.
No, the rules, they changed the rules to some bullshit in favor to keep games up to this level of what Sony and Nintendo wanted. I think it's more of a Sony shit.
My God, you guys are such tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists. That's
How is that tinfoil hat when you just look it right there in your face? I mean, if you want to be ignorant, that's your business. If you want to be in delusional land, that's your business.
Because
I don't have a problem
opinions.
with that. But again, no, this is the facts. When you change the rules,
that's not fact. It's opinion when it's a review.
Something else other than favoring this being the way that it was back in the days. You had to. It didn't take. It took years to have a 10.
It's not back in the day anymore. Stop living in the past. It's not back in the day anymore.
Back in the past. No, that's just legitimate reviewing. There's no
stop living in the past.
Stop.
Okay, yes, Xbox used to be the greatest thing in sliced bread. But guess what? It's not the same anymore.
Brother, this is beyond Xbox. You're saying don't live in the past.
How is it beyond Xbox?
Was the best time when the ratings were believable. See, that's what I'm not understanding. How you can sit there and argue.
How are they not believable now?
Because when you give perfect scores to games that aren't perfect, or even substantially better than other games that's come out through that.
But they're not even perfect.
It doesn't make
They used
sense.
to get perfect scores back then, and those games had problems too.
Very rarely.
No.
Yes.
You cannot say very rarely because I've seen plenty of games who got 10s back in the day. That didn't deserve a 10 because they had problems.
How far back in the day goes for you? Because
I'm talking about original Xbox. If we're going through to original Xbox, then
no, you're going back because when you go look, there was years before there was another 10 that came out. When you go back and you look at because Zelda,
there was not.
Zelda, yes, there was.
No, there was not.
Yes, there was.
No, there wasn't. No, there was not.
This man's lost his man.
One of the first perfect games that came out was Resident Evil 4 when it was on GameCube.
Right.
That was the very first perfect game.
That game probably didn't deserve a 10, did it?
No, it did. At that time, it was a phenomenal
If it had its problems, it had its problems.
No, that's the thing though. It was a one of a kind.
If you guys want to go back into the past, go back into the past.
We did. I just did, and
but we're not gonna go. But that's the thing.
We're
moving forward.
10s don't mean nothing anymore, and so why did they change 10?
I don't think 10s meant anything in the first place. I don't think 10s meant.
So why are you defending it so much? If you didn't feel like it, because now you're jumping over
because they're opinions.
No. Hold on. You're over here saying, okay, so you're bringing it up to us and saying, well,
because I defend people having their own opinion. That's why.
It's fine, but listen, it's not legitimate when you're saying games get a perfect score and they're not perfect. If they're like, listen,
No
if
game is perfect.
There's games that have had labels.
There are
to be
no
10s,
games that are
and they were
perfect.
generational great games.
There's no game that has ever come
changed
out
the game.
that's perfect. There's no
Oh, my
perfect
God.
game, dude.
No, it doesn't. Listen, the one point I'm trying to make to you.
To you, there might be a perfect game.
No,
To me, there might be a
It's
perfect game.
I'm saying in the sense the way that the system has been changed. And you're over here trying to fight for the bullshit that you see how review scores is.
I'm not trying to fight for any of the bullshit.
Was Spider-Man a 10? Was Spider-Man 2 a 10? Yes or no?
I gave it a 9. I told you I gave it a 9.
It wasn't a 10, but it got 10s. Was Starfield
that
a
was
10?
Their opinion.
Was Starfield
that was
a 10?
Opinion.
Was Starfield
no,
a 10?
it was an 8.
Okay, so there.
But that was my opinion.
But again,
and that was their opinion.
But those games got 10s. So you see how
that's an opinion.
Review scores has become.
That's an opinion.
Doesn't even make any sense
That's
anymore.
why they call them opinion pieces.
No. It can be opinion pieces, but when you sit there and you give perfect scores, because that's
so you
what
do
a
care
10
about.
is labeled.
So then you do care about reviews.
I don't.
Clearly you do. Clearly you do because
you made this point
because
so
Starfield got a 10.
Why the process is
turned
you care
about.
I don't care about it
Clearly you care about reviews.
I don't.
Okay, so then stop saying. Then people need to stop saying that they don't care about reviews and they don't care about accolades because clearly they do.
We're talking about it on a podcast. If this was anything else, where we
I've seen plenty of. I'm not really even talking about you, K-Mac. I'm talking about everybody. I've seen plenty of people who come out
people see the
and made videos.
Reviews are doing.
No, hold on. People have come out and made
also
videos.
People want to make money off of their content.
Clear example. Clear example. Doc Dark 1985 came out with a video about, I think maybe a year ago or something like that, saying that we don't care. Xbox gamers don't care about Game of the Year. And then all of a sudden, this past week, they're saying Xbox tax. That's just one example. I'm just giving you one example.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox tax.
There is a
tax.
biasness, whatever.
But yet accolades don't matter and reviews don't matter.
No, I say reviews don't matter. Accolades matter.
Accolades matter. Well then, why did Xbox get a Publisher of the Year from Metacritic?
Because they deserved it, just like they deserve to have a nominee.
So then, what you're saying is that
we're jumping over to the next topic now.
Yeah, I see. You want to move the topic because I'm right about that.
I'm not moving the topic. We've been saying the same things to each other for the last 15
minutes.
So again,
no, you just want to change the subject because I'm gonna win.
You've been getting cooked.
I'm gonna win.
Yeah, people
I have not
cooking you.
I have not been cooked at all tonight.
They're cooking you.
No,
you haven't
been talking this whole time, and you haven't let anybody else speak. So I'm going to tell you this:
the
reason they won Metacritic, the reason why they won Publisher Publisher of the Year by Metacritic is because they had the most of average higher score than other publishers during that year. Okay, it's not about the fact that there was the bias or anything like that. It was more of they had.
You just proved my point. You just proved it. You just proved it.
Let her finish.
Let me talk.
Let her finish.
Because you've been talking this whole time all over everybody, and nobody has been able to get a word in edgewise. So now I'm going to tell you this: the reason why they got the Publisher of the Year is because they had more games coming out that year that had a higher score, but it was averaged. Okay, so if you look at it, they were still in the 80s, right? But PlayStation didn't have that much that year, and they were at a lower score. So the fact is, you can't use that to talk about how, they gave the Publisher of the Year. No, it's because they had more games come out. And you can say it this year. Microsoft has more. Just listen to what I'm saying. Shut up.
Because
Microsoft this year. Would you shut the hell up?
Come on, Dark.
Microsoft had more games. Microsoft has more games coming out this year. They're gonna have Publisher of the Year with those games. But look at what PlayStation put out this year. PlayStation put out 2 games.
Yeah.
2. And what happened? They were purposely scored so high that it can push Microsoft out of Publisher of the Year. Think about that. How many games did PlayStation release, and how many
They
games
were
did Microsoft
purposely.
release?
They were Is there any evidence that they were purposely?
Am I wrong? Am I
Was
wrong?
were they? Is there any evidence?
Am I wrong?
Is there any evidence stating?
Am I wrong?
You are wrong.
Because look
You
at
are wrong.
Spider-Man. Look
You
at
are wrong
Spider-Man
because
2.
you have no evidence. You have no
Look at
evidence
Spider-Man 2
that those games
and
were
MLB The Show.
pushed.
Spider-Man 2 and MLB The
You have
Show.
no
That's
evidence.
the
of
only
that.
2 games that they released this year. Okay? And they scored them high on purpose
Oh my god!
because Microsoft had Redfall that was scored extremely low, which brings the average score down. So when you have 2 games
So they were
versus
purposely.
10. So do you want me to speak or do you want to speak? Because you've been taking up this whole time.
You're just wrong about that because you have no
Okay,
proof
whatever.
that they gave those
I don't know
games
why
a
you
high
keep trying
score
to say.
because they're
I don't know why you
PlayStation.
keep saying that there's no proof when it's right there in everybody's face. Come on, man.
There's no proof
Come
of it,
on.
dude. You can't unless somebody came out and said this is the reason
That's
why
not how
these
proof
games
works.
got a higher score.
Come on, man.
Yes,
Don't play stupid. Don't stop this. Now stop this. Stop that.
It
Stop
does,
that.
dude. Why these
No,
games
it
are
doesn't.
getting higher scores.
You're playing
Yes.
very ignorant right
Yes.
now. That
There's
doesn't
no
make no
proof of
sense.
it.
There's plenty of proof right there in your damn face. And you just don't want to deny it. That's fine. Just be a fraud on that. But stop trying to
no proof.
negate
Actually
and
giving
say
those
that
games
there's
higher
no
scores.
proof. There's no
Okay.
proof. It's there.
There isn't. There isn't proof.
There is plenty of
There's none.
proof. There's plenty of proof.
What-
Anyway,
Where's the proof? Where's the proof?
all you gotta do is look at this. Starfield got blamed for bugs, minor bugs. It's the least buggy Bethesda game that ever came out. Got docked for bugs. Spider-Man did not.
The only people I seen
Spider-Man did not
was,
get. Did Spider-Man get docked for bugs? Yes or no?
No, because reviewers
Okay,
came
so
out and
you
said
just
that
said
they didn't
there's no
experience
proof.
those
You
bugs.
just said there's no
They
proof.
didn't
You
say
just said
they
there's no
didn't
proof.
experience those
Okay.
bugs when those
Okay.
when that game
All right.
when they
All
played
right.
that game.
You're on that bullshit. I don't care. You just answered your own question saying where's the proof, and now you're sitting here. Now you're trying to change the narrative. Do not
Because
do
they
that, Dart.
didn't
Come on,
they
brother.
didn't
Stop
experience those bugs until after the day 1 patch came in.
that. I look how harshly they judged Call of Duty, and they didn't
Look
get
at
the
Days
full
Gone.
game.
When
They
Days
just-
Gone came out.
Oh
When
my
Days
God,
Gone
brother.
came out. When Days Gone came out, before it came out, they reviewed it and they said this game has a ton of bugs.
Okay.
When the day 1 patch got introduced into Days Gone, people were like, "This, I don't know how this game has bugs or has that many bugs as you're talking about." So then
So-
maybe they should stop reviewing games until the day 1 patch comes. That's when they should review the
But
game.
okay, so now what did you tell me earlier, Dart? I gotta keep what I kill now. You said stop worrying about the past. And what game did you bring up? Days Gone. That's about what, 6-7 years ago. How about we
No,
just go?
you guys are living way in the past.
Well,
You're living
I'm-
like in
brother.
Xbox.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna keep what I killed in the present with Call of Duty. They judge Call of Duty
There's no
off of a
proof.
game. What you mean there's no proof? They judged Call of Duty and gave it a 4, and it wasn't even the complete game yet. It was
They
just
gave the campaign a 4.
they gave the whole game a 4. They don't
And how-
come back and do other reviews.
No,
they don't do other reviews.
no, they came back. They came back and did the multiplayer.
When? No.
IGN did it.
Okay,
IGN
so
did that.
so what's what was the whole overall score of the game?
They haven't
was the
come
whole
out with that yet.
Why not? The game's been out for what?
Because
How long
usually,
ago?
I don't know why. I don't know why. Man,
Ladies and gentlemen, I kept
IGN?
what I killed.
I don't work for
have
IGN.
Dark will be mounted up on my.
I don't know. I don't know what you
background.
killed. You think you killed something, but you didn't kill nothing.
I curb
Hold on a
stomped you.
second,
That's
hold
okay.
on.
It's all right though, because you
Hold
made
on,
this
hold
narrative,
on.
and I had to use it
Because
against
they
you.
gave the multiplayer a 6.
Oh my goodness, they gave it a 4.
Okay.
No, they gave the
gave it a 4.
multiplayer a 6.
Oh, okay.
They gave the
They
campaign a
did-
4.
They gave the multiplayer a 6.
Yes.
But there's no bias. It's
Yeah,
one
Call
the-
of Duty Zombies has a 6. Call of Duty multiplayer has a 6.
What?
And the campaign has a 4.
You know how many people love the new zombies? It's one of the.
That's
come
their
on.
opinion, though. I'm not sitting here saying that their opinion is right or anything. I'm just saying that that's an opinion. You
Bro,
can't go by other people's
those
opinions.
are unplayable
Clearly.
games. A 4 is an unplayable game.
I mean, that's their opinion on that game. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I can't know what
You're
that person was
defending
feeling when
them,
they were
saying
playing
that
that
there's
game.
no bias. A 4 is an unplayable
Because
game.
I don't
It's
feel like
it's 1
an
point less
opinion.
than Quantum Error.
I don't feel
and
like
it's
an
1 point
opinion.
it's 1 point
I
higher
don't feel
than King Kong.
like an opinion can be a bias. I don't
Okay.
feel like opinions can be biases.
Okay, so let's get to the next topic. And this is going to be just as more funky because we're going to be talking about the nominees for the VGAs, for the Game of the Year. So I'm gonna go to you, Viper, because Dark has been parading and jumping around, and this man has been he's
Yes,
on it.
he
I
has.
love it. But anyway, but Viper, get your chance, brother. Did they get it right for Game of the Year, or do you feel that there was some games that was snubbed in the wake of their announcement of the games that was the nominees for Game of the Year?
Oh, obviously. There were a bunch of games that were snubbed. You know, one game that comes to mind, which was the highest selling game this year, was Hogwarts Legacy. I mean, no nominations whatsoever. How in the hell do you don't nominate the game? Okay, is it because you don't like the controversy that it had? But it scored well. It scored extremely well. But yet the controversy over J.K. Rowling and her stance, okay, but that she's not the one that made the game. So, you know, you're going to, make the developers suffer because of that, because of your bias, your inherent bias against J.K. Rowling. So that's one of them. Obviously, we're going to go talk about Starfield. A lot of the Xbox community felt Starfield deserved at least a nod to the to Game of the Year because it was the fastest selling Xbox game that this year. It is the most played Xbox game this year. So it had 11 million people day one. Before in the preview, it was having 6 million people on it. And by the end of the week, it had I think it was by the end of the week it was 11, but day one it went up to 11. It stayed at 11 million. And then now they're saying that let me see, was it, I don't remember what they're saying it is now after 2 months, but it's still one of the most played games. I mean, that should have at least had at least a nod for Game of the Year. The fact that they put Resident Evil 4 remake in Game of the Year, that is atrocious. That is atrocious. How in the hell do you snub Hogwarts Legacy, you snub Starfield, Diablo 4, Sea of Stars, let's see, what else? What was another good game? Um, I can't really think of anything
Star
else,
Wars
but I know,
Survivor, Final
yeah,
Fantasy
Jedi Survivor,
16,
a second time. A second time
a
for
second
Star Wars
time.
Jedi.
Yeah.
Yes. So the fact
Cocoon.
is, you
I
snubbed these.
mean, Armor
Yeah,
Core.
Cocoon. Thank you. Yes. So I don't understand what was the point of putting in a remake, a game that already won Game of the Year back in 2005 and had multiple ports to multiple consoles. How in the hell do you make that Game of the Year? You should have had remake of the year because you had Dead Space remake, Resident Evil 4 remake. What's another remake that came out this? Metroid Prime remake.
Yep.
You had GoldenEye 007. You had I could say even the Age of Empires 2 and 4.
Yeah, 2 and
Because they
4.
finally
Yeah,
came to console.
yeah, yeah. Well, I would say 2, yeah, but not
So,
4.
oh well, yeah, four. No, 4 came to console. Well, that's just a port. But
Yeah,
2, we can say 2 is the one.
that's a
But
remake. Yeah.
then, you know, exactly. So it's like, what the hell are you thinking? And then also, let me look at the other ones because there's a ton of stuff that's wrong here. But you're telling us that I think it was the what was the one with the indie of the year? The one game that the even the developer came out and said, "Hey, no, this is not an indie game," because the publisher of
Oh,
that
what was
game
that? I
is
forgot too. Yeah.
it was Dave the Diver, I think. That's what it was
Okay.
called. But
Yeah, I
it's
can't
not an
remember the name of the game,
indie
but I remember
developer.
that people talking about it.
It's like, I mean, do you not pay attention to the industry that you're the one that's voting on these, and then you're also, you're rating these games for one thing, so you should know what's going on, and then you decide to nominate them in the wrong categories. And how did Liza P become an RPG? That's a Soulsborne game.
Talk about
That's
it.
not an RPG.
Talk about it, because that's probably what's going to win.
Just explain to me where you're getting where you're coming up with these things. How do you come up with these categories, and how do you come up with the games to go in these categories? Because a lot of these, they're in the wrong genre, they're in the wrong place, the wrong time as well. So please explain to me this. Okay, Mega, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll let Dark go last on this one. I do agree with you 100% on this. There should be a remake because you forgot about Dead Space. Dead Space came out this year.
Yeah,
A
Dead
lot
Space. Yeah.
got a lot of high acclaim. On top of that, there's System Shock. That was a remake. Risk of Rain Returns. That was a remake. Kirby's Return to Dreamland. That was a remake. And then there was other games that the Company of Heroes 3, whatever. But there was games that was there was plenty of remakes. There was Pharaoh and New Era, stuff like that. But you could have had your own category with that. I found it to be very, very problematic to see a game that already won Game of the Year be placed back to have the opportunity to win Game of Year again when you got a new IP that is successful as it is. And when you look at Hogwarts Legacy, look, when Starfield and High Five Rush did not make it, I was like, that's bullshit, right? That's garbage. But I'm more mad about Hogwarts Legacy than any game that got snubbed. For this reason alone, that game is the number one.
It got nothing.
It got nothing. It was the number one game. It was the number one selling game in 2023 until now Call of Duty took it over. Another factor of it is that when people say, well, it was in the low to mid 80s score. Okay. Well, if you're going to talk about that, then why did Ghost of Tsushima and why did Death Stranding become nominees for Game of the Year? If that's how you're going to go and say, well, the games that's in the mid to low 80s shouldn't be qualified to make it. And if you want to make the other point about the controversy, I posted this, got a lot of attention from the post by saying, okay, so if a person who did not, as you said, 100% facts, Viper, about Rollins making her controversial statements, she has no part to the game, so much so that the developers gave her a middle finger and put a trans character in the game.
Exactly.
But yet you want to say, so they want to penalize Hogwarts for somebody who didn't work on the game. But then on the flip side, the controversy that changed the industry with Crunch and all the other stuff that people were saying about what happened in Naughty Dog, you go ahead and take all that controversy and put that game and make it win
As
game of the year with the
Yep.
Last of Us 2.
The Last of Us 2.
So what are we talking about here? It goes back to what we were saying too about this biasness. But the one thing about the VGAs that really pisses me off the most is that how they shit on the Western developer. Because listen, I cap for I won't cap, but I stand for Japanese games up and down. But it was so many games that was in 2023 that there should have been an opportunity, and maybe this is going to be the first time in a minute to where we have a time to where all these media outlet people talk about, well, they get on their soapbox and say, well, we don't like the console war. Y'all got to stop this. We love all gaming. You had the perfect year to represent all gaming by putting a PC game, a Nintendo game, a PlayStation game, and an Xbox game for contender of Game of the Year. And you didn't do it. You didn't do it. You didn't do it. You went all out and put in three Japanese games. Two Nintendo games and another Japanese game.
Sony game.
Yeah, and one Sony game. And then you sit here and you put no Capcom game. So it was 4 Capcom game and a Sony game, and you shit on. And then what's crazy is that like people over here look, well, Alan Wake 2. Remedy is a Western company, but it's owned by a Chinese company, so it's still an Eastern company. So again, what are we talking about here? Like, I mean, why is it that Cyberpunk 2 couldn't, if you're gonna put this, if you're gonna do all this to where you're gonna strategize to try to have a game that like Resident Evil 4 get nominated, then why you didn't include Cyberpunk 2? That's a turnaround of turnarounds. That game should have been considered. Yeah, go ahead.
What about that Cyberpunk being in the category of ongoing game?
That's
a single player.
It's a single player game.
How the hell?
And Sea of Thieves, Halo, and is nowhere in the consideration for that. And Sea of Thieves is one of the most played games in the world, not just on Xbox, but in the world. So I'm looking at this whole situation and I'm calling it out. It's bullshit. We all know it. It's only a 2-game race. It's only between Baldur's Gate 3 and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Okay. Spider-Man just needs to be happy to have its happy ass there. If it wins, the fix is already in, because that would be Dark's proof right there, because Dark can't sit here and say on this show right now that Spider-Man deserves to be Game of the Year over Baldur's Gate 3 or Tears of the Kingdom. You can't say it. You can't. You can have them devilish ass eyes and looking to be on that Sony tit all you want to, but brother, that game does not deserve. And listen, if Starfield made it, Starfield does not deserve to be Game of the Year. It just doesn't. It deserves to get a nomination. And if you didn't want to put that game in, then High Five Rush should have got that nomination. So to me,
exactly.
And that's why I look at this and I'm like, Resident Evil 4, but I'm more mad about Hogwarts Legacy. It should have been Hogwarts Legacy, Baldur's Gate 3,
Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, well, no. I'm not putting Jedi Survivor in there. I'm putting Baldur's Gate 3, Zelda, Hogwarts Legacy, Starfield, Spider-Man, and Alan Wake. Okay. I think that's fair, and you're touching on, I think everybody would have been fair with that. Everybody would have been fair, but to put in Resident Evil 4 when it already won, what you're also telling me, which is something that's going to happen as well, is that if you can bring back remakes for Game of the Year, that games that won Game of the Year years ago, then what the fuck are we going to see going forward with The Last of Us 2? Are they going to try to put Last of Us 2?
Thank you.
Are you going to put Last of Us 2 in a nominee for Game of the Year again? Are you going to do that?
Yep.
But come on, man. It will be a joke if Spider-Man wins. It will be a joke if Mario Wonder wins.
Oh yeah.
And it'll be a joke if Resident Evil 4 wins. It'll be an absolute joke. Nobody can tell. Jeff Keighley, none of any of these people can. It's a joke. It's a farce. It doesn't belong. Does not belong. And there was too many great games that came out that you snubbed. And I'm speaking as a gamer. I'm not just talking about, because even if you didn't want to put, let's just say you want to put 2 PlayStation games in there. I could have accepted that more than accept you put Final Fantasy 16 and you know how I feel about Final Fantasy 16. You put Final Fantasy 16 in there and Spider-Man, but Resident Evil 4 does not belong there. That is trash. That is trash. Okay, let me read the super chat, and then Dark, we're gonna hear if you on your fuck shit or you gonna be back to being level-headed again.
I do it for you, K Mega. I do it for you.
I know. We love you, brother. But you was on some other ish.
That's what I like doing that. It's fun.
I know. He says, preach K Mega. He said, I feel if GRG had on just Xbox fans, there would be less loud arguments. He said, I'd be happy to join a chat sometime. He says, God bless y'all from Ozzy. Yeah, man, you could, yeah, for sure. You could always come on and be a guest. No, you know what? I like the push back and forth. It went a little bit too long. I should have nipped it in the bud for it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It went a little bit too long. But other than that, like, no, I like the pushback, even though I know Dark do believe some of that, but I know he don't believe all of it. He does. Yeah.
I don't believe any of it.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah.
I don't believe half the
so, man. So okay,
no one on this
it's your go, bro.
No one on this in the chat should even remotely believe anything that I say at all. When it comes to gaming.
Let me read what my man said. My man over here being messy. Damn. Man, I hate why this app act like this sometimes. Anyway, I got to get to it again. I hate when this app act like this. What's doing that? But anyway, my main Rangy Force said, fun fact, K Mega shirts used to be tight fitting. Oh, bro, I know, man. These shit, man, man.
They used to be slim cut.
Now slim cut now. Do I need to pull back?
Now they're big boy cut.
No, they slim cut, bro. Look at that, man. Look at that. Boy, look at the
he's like,
up,
you know what? He's wearing that shirt because he couldn't fit in it before.
You know what? No lie. This is the honest to God truth. My homeboy, since now I've been on this weight loss kick, and so now I got all the homeboys out here working out and shit. They's like, oh no, you can't be smaller than me. Like that's how they are. So anyway, my other homeboy was like, hey man, I got some shirts for you to wear. And I said, word? And so I'm still like, after me losing all this weight that I have, I said, man, I don't know if I could. And then so like he wore like 2, 3X or whatever. And so like I'm in that size range now. And so I'm like, oh well, yeah, I'll go ahead. And so he's like, so he was over here. He was like, hey man, put that on. So he and the homeboys was like, they were trying to clown me, right? To try to see if it was gonna be tight. When I put this shirt on, because this is my homeboy shirt, I put it on, he got mad, like, I said, yo, I'm coming for you and I'm coming for your women. Like, yo, let's go. So it was great. So yeah, no, this is actually my homeboy shirt. I was just wearing it so like when he catch the podcast, he'll see you have it on so he can get pissed off again. But yeah, he's right. I used to be on them tight fitting shirts, and you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, I'm close to 38 inch waist jeans and shit. Boy, I'm on my way. I'm trying to get back to my old high school weight, so I plan on doing that. I'm planning on getting there soon. So. We on that work. So really do appreciate that clown, but yet factual truth about the Slim Mega on his way. Let's go.
Oh Lord, here we go.
So Dark, what you got, man? What you got? The VGAs, man. You know this is bullshit. Those games should not be nominated for Game of the Year. I know you're going to talk with some sense on this one.
I have a question.
Oh, here we go. What was that question?
Here we go.
Did you guys play Resident Evil 4 Remake?
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
You did? Okay. All right.
Nope.
Then Viper is the only one that has a fair point on that. You do not, K Mega.
I have every point. Game already won Game of the Year.
I agree with Viper. I don't think Resident Evil 4 should have been in that category. The rest of the games, I think that you can make an argument for them. There are some games in there that I think you can. But yeah, something should have replaced Resident Evil 4. I don't know what that would have been. Honestly, I think it should have been Hi-Fi Rush, but that's only if we're going by the Metacritic score or whatever. I think that, you know, for me, what you guys gotta understand from me is that I couldn't give two shits what gets Game of the Year. I could give two shits about the nominations or any of the awards or any of it. I couldn't care less. The only thing I really ever watch that show for is for the new game announcements. That's literally, I think, what most people watch it for in the first place. So for me, I come from it from the standpoint of like, yeah, there was some games on there that should have been there that weren't, especially like you said, Viper, Hogwarts Legacy should have been on there, like at least for something. Honestly,
They
you
didn't
could
even get it for RPG. They didn't even get it
honest.
for RPG of the year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think you literally could have replaced Liza P with Hogwarts Legacy. Not because Liza P isn't an RPG, because it is. It is considered an RPG, and it is an RPG. But it's very much a soul-like game, right? Like, how long are we gonna, cater to those games? Because let's be honest, I think for me personally, I'm burned out on them. I'm burnt out on those type of games.
On Souls games?
On Souls games, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Unless
that's a completely different genre. So
it is a completely different genre. 2 got snubbed for a certain thing, because I think even though it is a Souls like type of game, I think it has a lot different from it to kind of differentiate it from the rest of the pack, because it is basically Souls with guns, and that game was awesome, dude. I don't know if you guys played Remnant 2, but that game was awesome, dude.
I got Remnant 2. Yeah, no,
that game was awesome.
I want to get I'm finna double dip and get the PC version, even though I've been trying to wait because I know it got crossplay. But I have the Xbox version, and I want to get in it and play it. So with some people, honestly, I started it off, but I haven't. I just beat that first boss, and that was it.
I don't understand why. I know I'm gonna get so much shit for this right now, but I don't understand why RoboCop wasn't on there.
Because you like RoboCop that much?
RoboCop is fun. I like RoboCop. I like RoboCop that much.
It's fun.
But look at the time frame that it came out. It came
out on the second.
It came out.
That's the thing. It came out.
Yeah. No, it came out in time.
It came out during the second. Yeah, it came out in time.
Came out in time.
Yeah. So I mean, but that, that's my opinion on it. I could see where people would be like, well, RoboCop wasn't, RoboCop had this, RoboCop had that. But for me, man, going back and being like RoboCop 1, watching that, RoboCop 2, we don't talk about RoboCop 3. No one talks about RoboCop 3. This is literally RoboCop 3, right? Like, this is literally what that is. So it was just like, I just feel like there's a lot of games that got like Hogwarts Legacy got completely snubbed. Period. Like got so snubbed that people were like, I don't even know what that is. Kind of snub. Like now they're acting like we don't even know what that is. What is that? What's Hogwarts Legacy? But
doesn't that go back to the bias that we were talking about earlier? The fact that they would snub Hogwarts Legacy because of the controversy. That goes back to the bias. And that's what I was trying to explain about how the same people reviewing the game are the same people picking the Game of the Year nominees.
Yeah.
And they're the same ones voting on Game of the Year. That's a problem in this industry. A major problem, and that has to stop.
Yeah, I mean, but we were talking about Xbox tax. I think I'm more inclined if it was like a multi-plat like that, then yeah, I can definitely be like, this is ridiculous. This is beyond ridiculous, especially with Hogwarts Legacy. The only thing that J.K. Rowling had a hand in was giving them the rights to the license of Harry Potter. That is it. She didn't make the game. She didn't create the game. She didn't promote the game for one thing. She hasn't even acknowledged that it even exists. And yet you're going to sit there and put, you know, you're going to sit there and not give this game what it deserves. And I think it deserved some sort of accolade what it was, because it was a new IP. It was something we haven't seen before. It was something that, if you notice that, like, most of the stuff that gets nominated at the Game Awards are like sequels to things,
Right.
for the most part.
Yeah.
Or we've seen it
Yes.
before.
Yeah.
Or we've seen it before.
Exactly.
Right? Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Ghost of Tsushima, but we've seen games like that before. We've seen open world games like that before from Sucker Punch, like that. Maybe not in that same vein of like sword and, you know, samurai type of thing, but we've seen it. But I still love that game. Say here, those games were trash or anything, but it's like with, you know, I think Alan Wake 2 is a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
But I can see where people would be like, fuck this game. Right? You know, like you know, K-Mega, you played it. You know, you could see where people would have been like, nah, bro, nah. Like even though it got Game of the Year nomination, I can see where people would have been like, nah, that doesn't need to be.
Not enough action.
The only game,
a lot of
too much detective work, too much walking around. It's basically like it's basically like a more action-packed walking simulator, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I love the game. Don't get me wrong, I love that game. It was a fantastic game. I almost platinumed it until I realized I have to replay the game again. I have to go through it again in order to get like certain things, and I'm just like, nah, I'm good.
He's like, I'm letting that go.
Like, nah, I'm good. The only game that I can't really comment on for Game of the Year is Super Mario Bros. Wonder, because I didn't play it. Right? All the other games I played. Honestly, I would say Baldur's Gate deserves to be there only for Acts 1 and 2, but Act 3, I don't know, man. Act 3 fell off. Mm-hmm. For me, it fell off. Mm-hmm. And I think even a lot of people felt that same way about Act 3. So, but honestly, I think Diablo got snubbed like crazy. Diablo 4 got snubbed.
It had all that controversy though during the end of season 1.
It was such a great game though. It was a phenomenon, in the beginning,
bro. It got me all in it.
It was a great game.
It made me honestly put Street Fighter 6 on ice.
Honestly, I think, you know, if it wasn't for Baldur's Gate 3's Act 3, like, that Diablo blows it out of the water. Like, blows it out of the water because of that Act 3, because Diablo 4 had a coherent story that went all the way through, and the story was phenomenal. Those cutscenes were on point.
Lilith,
on
boy,
point.
Boy.
Lilith.
Yeah.
I heard grown men saying that they would leave their wives for Lilith.
I'm like, y'all tripping. Y'all are tripping.
I know. I was still like, you.
So you're saying, hold on.
Yeah.
You're saying that Diablo 4 had consistent story.
Yes.
Good elements that was in it compared to Baldur's Gate 3. But what was the reason why they did not nominate it?
Get him.
Don't do that.
What's the reason why they
we're not Listen, we're not living.
No.
Listen,
No,
bro,
come
we're not
on.
living in the past.
Come on.
We ain't living in the past.
And this ain't the
Listen.
past. This is the present. This is the present. Why
Listen,
did they not nominate
listen.
Diablo
That is
4?
good.
Who owns Diablo 4? Come on.
Because
Who
of
owns it?
biases. I'll give you that because of biases.
Ah, he wants to be. Yeah, he wants to give it to us now.
I can't want to kill. Thank you very much.
And I'm sorry,
Anyways,
guys. I know that.
I mean, would you rather have me agree? No, I'd rather
Oh,
not.
you just cut out. You
And
just cut out.
Yeah, no, and I apologize, guys. I know that people were saying that things were getting choppy. This is something that's not got to do with me. This is just OBS acting like OBS. I don't, some of those.
Yeah, because it was choppy
happen.
for a little bit there, but I had to turn YouTube off.
Yeah, and I turned YouTube off and everything, and so it's running fine over here, and I'm, you know what I'm saying, but I'm not looking at YouTube at all. So.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the chat, so I'm still seeing stuff. And matter of fact, Sir X Man in the chat, he gave a super chat, so thank you so much. He said, "Admitted, Diablo 4 should have been nominated Game of the Year." And so, he's admitting it. He's admitting it. So I definitely agree. And the only reason why I didn't bring up Diablo 4, which I felt as much I lost my life playing that game, and I will be going back on it. I did. I was like, oh my goodness, Lilith keeps calling me. I was getting up. I was staying up till 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Then I'm saying, like, I was losing my mind.
You were having the night sweats?
Bro, I'm like, I gotta get to Lilith, man. I gotta get her. I gotta kill that chick, man. She's doing too much.
You waking up with night terrors and stuff.
Yeah, well,
screaming.
It was mostly so much about. It wasn't so much about Lilith that I was. I knew that Lilith was the end game, but it was her henchman. It was her henchman.
It was the
dude that kept coming back alive. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that dude was.
It's not even. The thing is with that story, it was just so on point that it deserved more. It deserved
this credit, dude.
A whole lot more.
And just to give it, to not give it something, or to give it only one thing, really. I mean, what did they give it? They give it maybe like 2 nominations or 3 nominations at the
I think
Game
it was
Awards.
RPG of the Year and Best Multiplayer.
Best multiplayer, yeah.
And what's crazy is that Starfield and Diablo could get snubbed undeservingly.
Yeah.
Because
that's the thing.
Of Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is if Baldur's Gate 3 will probably take it only because that the PC like PCMR, the PCMR guys are fanatics for for that game.
Right. No,
and don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic game.
It's a great game for what I play. Yeah,
I'm it's a fantastic game.
Yeah, I'm in Act 2. So,
but once I got to Act 3, I was just done. I couldn't do it anymore.
Interesting.
But that's only because I felt like the story fell off, and some of the things that made it great about Act 1 and 2 just didn't transfer over into Act 3 for me. Okay. But other people might feel different.
Right. Well, I mean, it's one of the most played PC games for the year. So I mean, obviously they love it unconditionally. But let me go ahead.
Honestly, I think one last thing. Yeah. I think they should do like a nostalgia, like maybe not a nostalgia category, but like something for the games that weren't really like that were like remakes should have their own category.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remakes, remasters should have their own category together, and then maybe even throw something like Cop in there just because of the nostalgia for it or whatever.
Yeah. The category.
I don't know what you would call that. I don't know what you would call that category, but you would have to call it something to make it make sense, But go ahead.
Let me add something to that. They should have Nintendo Game of the Year, Xbox Game of the Year, PlayStation Game of the Year, PC Game of the Year.
Yeah.
And then after all of those, then you also have Game of the Year of overall of everything.
Yeah.
Be fair. If you can't be fair, don't have the Game Awards. Period.
Well, that's just not how that works, though. Like it just so
That's because
it's the
Keeley
most,
knows where he knows where he gets most of his views from.
right, and he
Want to see
knows what
the new games. That's how he does it. That's
right. He knows
he
why
knew
he's doing. Yeah,
he knew he wouldn't be able to pull off an Oscar, because let's face it, the Oscars, nobody watches it. The last time people watched it was because the slap around the world was heard. You know the slap around the world is Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. You know that's what and that's what brought people back last year, because they thought something was going to happen. They thought, oh, is this year going to be the same kind of coincidence where somebody's going to do something crazy? No, I guarantee you next year when the Oscars come around, no one's going to watch it. But Keeley found a way to make people watch the Game Awards,
and the
that is
controversy
the game
as well,
announcements.
and the controversy
Yeah.
as well is because we're talking about it 2 weeks after and people are still talking about the controversy. So and that's and unfortunately that's what sells, and that's what garners attention, is the controversy. So it sucks. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Dang, look at this. I'm looking at this, almost 10 o'clock. Jesus Christ, gentlemen. It's only 3 of us today. It's only 3 of us. Anyway, so let's talk about the lawsuit real quick, because I don't know. I seen it. I don't care. Sony's been sued so many damn times. I'm gonna go to Viper on that. They'll find a way to wiggle out of it. They're snakes, they're serpents that lay on their belly. So they'll find a way to get out of it some kind of way. But Viper, please explain this to people. That's what the hell they are. If you ain't tired of Sony over here, getting over on your ass at this point, then it just ain't no going. They just so do what you do. Go ahead. I already figured them out a long time ago. But Viper, please explain this lawsuit and give us a little bit of insight on it.
Okay, so this lawsuit is basically Sony is being sued for $7.9 billion or 5 billion euros. Basically, that's the conversion rate. Damn, I can't believe we have so much more than their euros. But anyway, the lawsuit is basically stating that Sony has a monopoly on basically purchasing directly from their store. They won't allow like a CD keys, and they won't allow any other third party to give discounted prices for their games, and won't give them codes to buy anything that is a Sony game or any type of game that's played on the PlayStation. So they're being sued for that, and basically overcharging the consumers when it comes to not only their consoles, but they're also overcharging them based on the games themselves. Because physically, we can understand, because you should have an instruction manual, but you don't have that anymore. They skipped out on that long time ago. All companies did that. So there's a distribution of the stuff. We can understand why the physical copy may cost a lot, but digital has nothing. It's just the code itself. So digital should cost less than the physical. But these companies, well, specifically the lawsuit is against Sony right now. It may be that more jurisdictions may sue them even further if the UK wins this. But for now, it's a class action lawsuit, and you have multiple people saying that they feel like Sony is robbing them of their money, because you can only buy a game in the PlayStation Store. You can't buy it anywhere else. With Xbox and with Nintendo and with the PC, you can buy on different marketplaces, and you can get them for cheaper prices. You're not going to have to pay the 70, 60. Sometimes you can pay $40, $30 for a brand new game sometimes. Because even when it comes out at Amazon, sometimes you can get the games for cheaper than what the MSRP is. So that's what this lawsuit is about, and it's in the UK. And the CMA, they used to be, cuddle buddies with this PlayStation, but it doesn't seem like they're in bed together right now. Seems like friends have now become enemies.
Interesting. I don't know, Dark. Your thoughts on it?
Sony being sued.
Especially by
Tuesday,
the
brother. Just another,
just by the,
just
by the
another
region
Tuesday.
that was
Another
by the
Tuesday.
region that was trying to help them through the ABK deal.
Got their ass.
They have been doing this for a while, man.
Yes, they have.
I think people are getting sick of it because of the fact that Viper has probably one of the best points like out there is that Xbox and Nintendo allow you to buy their games elsewhere.
Yep.
PlayStation digitally. We're only talking about digital,
right?
Because physical you can buy it anywhere. You can, you can get deals on physical and almost pretty much anywhere. But for digital, yeah, Sony's screwing up, man, because you can literally go into Best Buy right now. You can buy a Nintendo game or an Xbox game, but you can't buy a PlayStation game digitally.
Yep.
Right.
You can buy their stupid store cards. You can buy those.
Oh yeah, they sell those in abundance, right?
You can buy those, but you can't buy the game digitally if you want to. Like if you want to pay cash, you can't do that. You can't pay cash. You can't even go into GameStop where they sell digital.
Wow.
Where they sell digital codes for things.
That's right. Yeah.
You can't even buy it from them. And apparently they have a good standing with GameStop.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
that's nuts.
I mean, to be honest, I honestly I hope they lose so then we can get games digitally from anywhere that we can possibly go and find them. Because
the thing is they could lose or they could try to settle. Because if they lose, that's 7.9 billion US and 5 billion euros. And don't forget that other jurisdictions are going to come after them as well. It's not just the UK. The UK is the first to start it, but if the UK wins, the European Commission, they're going to go after them. Brazil will go after them. The United States will go after them. Japan will go after them.
The United States definitely going to go after them.
Exactly. Because if the CMA like I said, the CMA was on their side during the ABK deal. Now they're not on their side because they lost. So if that's the case, if they're trying to get a win on Sony, guarantee you the United States, who's keep on getting loss after loss with Microsoft, they're going to try to jump in and get that win on Sony so they can say, look, we did something for the consumer. Every single jurisdiction is jumping in on this if Sony loses this.
Well, I don't see how they couldn't.
Yeah.
That's the thing is that and then also go ahead.
But here's also a thing that with digital, PC gets games way cheaper than what we get them.
Yes,
for
they
Xbox.
Do. Yes.
For Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation. Mm-hmm. Like shoot, I know some games that got day one I know a buddy of mine got freaking RoboCop Rogue City day one for $40. I was all like, what?
I got it for 30. Yeah, I got it for 30.
Look at that. You got it for 30. You got it for 30.
Mm-hmm.
You got it for 30.
I got it for 30, 32. Yep. On CD keys.
We shouldn't be paying full price for digital games, period.
No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't.
Because we're not getting a physical anything.
That's true. Then the very first PC game that was $70. You remember what that was?
Mm-mm.
Final Fantasy VII Remake integrated.
I was going to say it had to be Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, I was thinking Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, remake. Yep, it was.
That was the first PC game that was $70.
And I waited until that
And
bad
nobody
boy
bought
got
it.
to 40. Nope, and nobody bought it. Nobody said they're like
They didn't buy, PC gamers have wised up. I mean,
well,
I'm
no,
upset with
not so
console
much.
gamers.
Not so much because Starfield sold over 10 million on Steam alone. And I know that people is like, I don't see those stats.
That was 70.
That was 70. And you go and you type in what did Starfield sell
It could be
on your
because
PC.
it depends on the game.
And then there's a little, you know, like when you, when you look at those, when you look at those little things to ask those questions of what is this, what is that, you click on that little arrow and it'll pop down and it'll tell you that they have the Steam numbers that sold over 10 million. It's on Steam only that because they don't have the Xbox numbers.
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit did the same thing. Baldur's Gate 3 sold over 10 million. I mean, and that was at $70. Now it didn't sell on console.
But that was at 60 on the PC when it came out.
I thought
it was
they had a whatchamacallit as well though, and I should have got it then. When it was in preview. It was in preview, it was like $25, $30 at preview.
It was 60 on PC though.
I thought it was 70. Was it 60? Huh,
no, it was 60 on PC.
Oh, okay.
It's 60 on PC.
Okay, I stand corrected. I'm sorry.
On console, it was 70.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's why it ain't gonna fly. And even when it comes to Xbox, it still ain't gonna fly. It ain't gonna sell. It ain't gonna sell on console until
they're
it
gonna
drops
do
down.
a physical copy. They're gonna do a physical copy directly through their website for 70 for the regular, and I think it's 90 for the ultimate or deluxe, whatever they want to call it. But it's directly through Larian Studios' website for the physical version.
Yeah. Okay,
how much is it going to be?
It's going to be 70 for the normal, and then about 90 for the deluxe.
Oh,
because you get a lot
for the physical versions, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And see, that's where the game has changed. That's where the game has changed. Just think about, I can go back to 2013. Just think about that for a hot second. Go back to 2013, how many people was just shunning and just saying,
oh, you cutting out.
Yeah, you cutting out like crazy.
Okay, we don't want digital content. Can you hear me now, or am I still cutting out?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we want digital. I got to back up because my mic is starting to is tripping out again for some reason. We want digital content, and we don't want. I mean, not digital content. We don't want digital content. We want physical games. And now you look at this situation. Physical games are higher than digital, and we get so many digital sales. And I knew this going forward. That's why I was for it. Like, you know, digital, and on top of the benefits of having digital games, you don't have to stand in line for the midnight launches and so forth and so forth. But anyway, you know, I mean, Sony and I posted it right here from Sorry I'm Truthful. It's just that, like he's saying, like Sony has a digital games monopoly. Like, I mean, that's what they've been doing. They have been
for their console, for sure.
And you know what? It's crazy because, and I don't know if Microsoft gave the nudge to him, was like, hey, CMA, why don't you go check out Sony shit for a minute while y'all was all up in our ass giving us grief. Why don't you go check and see what Sony is doing? I don't know if Microsoft did that, but at least CMA is looking and seeing what Sony has done, and maybe now we can start seeing it. Yeah. So I don't.
Don't forget, because Sony has a 98. No. It was a 92% monopoly in Japan because they weren't counting Nintendo. So if it's just Xbox and Sony as the high-powered consoles, then Sony has a 92% monopoly in Japan against Xbox.
Makes sense. Great point. Sir X-Man in the chat said, K-Mega, did you hear that this might be the worst Black Friday ever? I don't know. Did you guys hear that? I did not hear that.
Nope,
for what?
I didn't hear that.
That's for what? For everything, for gaming, for what? Because I got mostly everything that I want right now, to be honest with you.
Because I think
gaming wise,
most consoles were on sale. Like, I think Xbox had a huge sale on there.
Yeah, they got
their huge sale on there.
Xbox.
They got a great
Series
sale.
It
X.
was just Xbox on sale. That's it.
No, PlayStation had some. They weren't as good as Xboxes, but they had their sale too. It was only like $50 off or something like that.
Okay, all right. Yeah, no,
Oh, and I also forgot to tell you guys that Sony is now counting the PlayStation Portal as
yeah,
a
I saw
console.
that. I saw
Yeah,
I'm
that.
like,
I
yeah,
saw that.
I
I
know.
that
saw
right
that.
there
I
is
saw
some
that.
low down, so shady shit right there. I'm like,
It is.
you want?
Yeah.
Mm,
It's tragic, and it's just like how they count their games because they got Spider-Man
mm,
bundled, because that's the only way, because people feel like they got a deal when they buy the PlayStation. And even though I did see a PlayStation 5 for $350, and they got it bundled with Spider-Man for Black Friday. And I considered it, but then I was like, I'll wait until Spider-Man will be here within the next year, so I ain't tripping about it. I'm cool. I'll just play the other two Spider-Mans and until Spider-Man 2 drops. I'm not gonna spend $350 for a console that's gonna get minor play. You know what I mean? Like, so I wanna play PlayStation games, but I want to play them the way I want to. So I mean, the way Xbox is constructed, that's the discussion that we'll be talking about definitely next week. Is about the sales and all that, about like the 50 down 52% in the UK and all that stuff. We'll talk about that next week, because I do want to get into that for sure. But last topic, and that's about Killer Instinct and a 10th anniversary. You know what? It feels good. I had to toot my horn on that because a lot of people gave up on it. I told them that it was coming. Phil told me it was coming. They were just working on trying to get the dev and all that other stuff. There were so many other rumors about who was going to work on Killer Instinct, so forth and so forth. But now it's already out in the open. They're doing this. They're doing like a patch that's coming out here in the next couple of weeks. They said that they're going to do Killer Instinct 10th anniversary, and it's going to take away the definitive edition of Killer Instinct. So this will be the new thing going forward. And something that's new is that the definitive edition, if you own the definitive edition, or if you owned any of the characters from the previous Killer Instinct games, that will be free for you on Steam, on Xbox, and for the very first time on Steam, you'll get that they'll have the free version of Killer Instinct to where the players rotate. You'll get to play that for free on Steam. So that is the first time that that's going to be implemented. They'll be adding the graphics and enhancements, and they did a lot of nerfs and buffs. So shout out to Fulgore. He got a lot of buffs. And Toad, and then the Battle Toad, that Battle Toad is toast. I don't think we'll see that
Rash.
Battle Toad anymore. Yeah, Rash is toast. So seeing Don playing with that damn Toad and dancing with him, he ain't gonna play with him as much as he got nerfed, which was deservingly because he was a cheating bastard. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I played a little bit last night. I had somebody who was better than me. This person was a better player than me. I mean, I was rusty. I haven't played in a while, and they beat me 4 games in a row. It got closer by each match because how I play, I will figure you out eventually. And so then he sent me a nasty message. And most people who play me or watch me play fighters and Fight Night Sunday, if you piss me off, I play better. If you get me mad, I'm not drunk mad, because drunk mad, I'm just useless. But if I'm mad, like concentrating mad, I play better, and I just get to another level, and I kind of show them old school skills, and then that's what he did. And even though I wasn't perfect but I beat him, and that dude messaged me all night talking about how many times he beat me, and I should be. And I'm like, look, I beat you. Why are you so mad about it? It's Thanksgiving, bro. Have a good one. GG's. So I went ahead and I posted that L he took, but it was fun. But yeah, no, I'm very happy about it. Your guys' thoughts about this? I mean, I do want to kind of add a little something else to once you guys give me your thoughts about Killer Instinct now officially making its comeback. I'm gonna go with you, Dark. Your thoughts? KI, its returns.
I don't think I have a right to say anything about KI because I don't play it. And I won't play it. So I don't really have.
Why you won't play it?
I don't have a because you know me. I'm not very much of a fighter game person. You know, unless it's like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or something like that.
Mortal Kombat is tough. It's beautiful.
I didn't even get Mortal Kombat 1 yet, dude.
It's
I haven't
worth
even
getting,
picked it
but
up.
it is so different than any other Mortal Kombat that you've ever played, and I'm just having a problem. That's why tonight, this puppy is being used. I got to. Controller just ain't working for me.
Fight stick.
I need to get that.
I got the Killer Instinct fight stick.
Yeah, see. But go ahead, Dark.
Have I played Killer Instinct before? Yes, but I don't have the right to say anything about it because I haven't played it since what? Probably the last time I played it was with VGA Mega, and that was like freaking years ago, bro.
Right,
years ago. So yeah, I think it's cool. You know, it's great. You know, you guys are gonna get something that you guys been clamoring for. So awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Your thoughts?
Since he's not a Killer Instinct fan, I mean, you can still download it for free on Game Pass, or it's $13 for the definitive edition right now on Xbox and on Steam. Excellent. And then when the update comes, you will get it for free for the update.
How much? Because how much will you get it for?
Free $99.
Free $99.
Then it still costs you $99.
Free, no, it costs you free. 99 free. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it still costs you $99.
Yeah, 99 freeness, free 99. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
But no, here's the thing. I would recommend everybody get it now because the definitive edition does have the soundtrack. Yes. It has the original Killer Instinct 1 and Killer Instinct 2.
Yes, because they will be delisted. They will be delisted until they figure out what they're going to do with Mortal Kombat. I mean, I'm sorry, Killer Instinct 1 and 2 arcade editions. So it'd be the best time to get them now.
Yeah, get them for the $13 because you're gonna lose out on a lot of stuff after it gets delisted. Because the only thing that you're gonna get for the $30 with the anniversary edition is the 4K version of Killer Instinct with all the characters, all the backgrounds. I don't know if they give you all of the gold characters.
Yeah, they give you the skins. Yeah, the purple, the gold. Yeah, all that. Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is, you're gonna miss out on the 2 arcade games that came out back in the 90s. You're gonna miss out on the soundtrack. I would say pay the $13 now, and then you can have everything still in your downloads. So it's the best time to get it right now.
Sure. Absolutely. And then also another thing, and a big shout out to the Husky Hoggy. Yeah, I really appreciate you coming through, brother, man. I'll be seeing your stuff on TikTok, man.
Name.
Yeah, that's a great name. You know what I'm saying? So, man, we're going to see
if we can
Hokage. I said Hoge, yeah, but yeah, Hokage. Let me be country. Sorry, bro. And I've been drinking on this a little bit. So I'm about to get out of here.
We knew you were gonna be.
Don't blame it on. This man is blaming it on the alcohol.
I am. I'm going to blame it on it because I should have. I was trying to be done by 9:30. I'm like, we're still going to have. So anyway,
you're no better than the biases that are in the media.
Tasty. Anyway, but thank you. You know what I'm saying? But I do appreciate you, man. If you do podcasting, we're gonna have to have you come on. So get ready for me to hit you up on TikTok and see if we can get an invite and come on through. But man, really do appreciate it. But Sir X-Man said in here, it says 30 million active players in Halo Infinite. That needs to be celebrated. Absolutely, the rebirth of Halo and Battlefield 2042. Both of those games has made some serious resurgence. I've been playing a lot of Halo as well here lately. It feels real good. It's good to see it back. I do need to get some kind of Warzone type of thing for me to really feel.
Don't give
bad.
that old dusty bastard who couldn't even show up to the podcast tonight any accolades, man. Get out of here.
That is true. That is true. You're right. You know what I'm saying? Take your old ass to bed, man.
We need to play with Don. We need to play with Don again on Halo.
Oh yeah, Don, yeah, and then get the gang back together. One bad mother, Don. You know what I'm saying? Me, you, yeah. We can get down, have a good time. But my last point was this. Now I've also said that. Also with the rumors that I've heard about that, because Xbox is making a fighter division, that they're looking to try to do a multiverse. Yeah, they're trying to do a multiverse game, which that's kind of like in the way like a Smash or a multiverse type of fighter, which is perfect, like a brawler, I should say. I think that would be a grade A opportunity to do that. But also, let's throw this hat in the ring. Until that game can be officially presented, worked out, because there's a lot that has to go on to get that type of fighter, that type of brawler to come out, to bring that Smash type of game out. For what right now Killer Instinct could be is that gateway into bringing in characters that has the guest characters and the characters that people have been talking about, like to see Master Chief. Of course, I would love to see Locke, or somebody from Red Team. You could have now you could have Soap, you could have Price, you could have any type of character that you would think of that would go like Doom Guy into Killer Instinct. Do you guys look at that and see? And then on top of that, like guest appearances, like from a character like, let's just say Sub-Zero or Scorpion or Raiden to come in there. And then also, like, if you could go even further and bring in a character from, let's just say from Dead or Alive or from Power Rangers or something like that. Can you guys see that opportunity and growth for Killer Instinct 2? Because that's when it would most likely happen. Begin, and do you see that that's a bigger possibility to make that game become more commercial? I'm gonna start off with you with this one, Viper.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought up DOA, because didn't we see Master Chief and was it Amy? What? No, it's not. Amy wasn't her name. What was her name? The female Spartan.
Oh, what was her name?
Oh God.
There's a couple of them. I mean, there's Val.
Geez.
But I know the one you're talking about. The main one that talks shit
with a
to.
T?
No. What was her name?
No, it was. I thought it was an S.
Yeah. What is her name? Because she talked shit to Chief. She said, "I thought you would be bigger," and there was so many people got pissed off because she talked shit to Chief.
Exactly.
Yeah. I forgot what her name is, but yeah,
she has the white.
Oh, they got pissed off about that. She wears the white and red Spartan suit. She's badass though too. She's not no.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, she was badass.
She was in DOA 4. Remember, she was in Dead or Alive 4. So the fact is, they already had this stuff already. Microsoft can truly make it even better, because
I think that was a mod. That was a mod. That wasn't the actual her. That was a mod for her.
No.
No.
So all right, it was
a mod.
It was on the original Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
It was on the original Xbox, and because it was on Xbox, you unlocked that Spartan in DOA 4. I remember because I had the game.
Oh, okay, all
and
right,
actually, I do have I have DOA 4 on as a download right now. So yeah, basically,
I got it on download too. I need to check that out.
Yep, I got all of the DOAs from 1 through 6.
Oh yeah, I got them all too, but I got them spread out on the PlayStation, then PlayStation, Xbox.
The
also, I got
backwards
some on
compatibility.
Nintendo, yeah,
Go look at
and PC.
Look up the backwards compatibility for the Xbox store. You'll find all 6 of them. The fact is though that she was on there. I don't remember if it was DOA 3 or 4. One of those. But she was on there, and the fact that she was there, that lets me know Killer Instinct can have it. It's just now you're going to have to figure out how are you going to chain those combos together for these different characters?
Well, they already
Because
have.
the Killer Instinct,
They got Arbiter from Halo in Killer Instinct.
right?
Yeah.
Right, but he is actually a smooth character even in the Halo universe. You think about this: when you have a Spartan is not smooth like the Sangheili warriors. So you have a Sangheili and then you have a Spartan. The Sangheili is going to move a lot smoother than the Spartans. Now let's look at Call of Duty. You know, right? You said Price and some other ones. I don't know. I don't know how you're gonna do that. Maybe they'll move like Orchid. Maybe they'll move like Jago. Who knows? But you know, you're gonna have to try to incorporate even Doom Guy because Doom Guy is gonna be like a Master Chief. He's gonna be like heavy foot, and that's gonna be like a tank.
Well,
So
they got General
they're gonna have to come
Rom.
up with.
They got General Rom in Killer Instinct, so and he moves like
Oh
a
yeah,
tank. Yeah.
he
So
he's a tank too. He's a
yeah,
tank too, and
yeah.
that's the thing. You don't want to have too many tanks. So you're gonna have to try to, you know, remove some, or I don't know. I'm trying to figure out all the different franchises that Microsoft has access to, and I'm not entirely sure how you would say, okay, is this person a tank? Is this one a brawler, or is this one like extremely fast? Like I don't know how they're going to situated, but yes, the multiverse can work. It's just don't have too many of one type because that would probably be its downfall.
What about you, Dark? Your thoughts?
Oh,
Oh no, you weren't done.
no, I thought you were on
Oh,
mute.
okay. Oh, all right. And then you were right. I just looked it up. It was Spartan 458. And also known by her real name Nicole in Dead or Alive 4.
Nicole,
Yeah.
that's it.
Well, hot damn. I did not know that. That's awesome. And that would make why the mod is so easy to make in other CODs. I mean, on other DOAs. That's pretty fantastic. I don't think I've ever unlocked her. But see, I didn't have DOA 4 on Xbox. I had it on PlayStation. And Dreamcast, I think.
Yeah,
I think what on Dreamcast?
I had DOA 3 and 4. I had the one on Xbox and the one on 360.
Okay. So, Dark. Well, he probably said he don't have any skin in the fight. So I'll just go ahead and finish up.
Right. Oh, don't forget the super chat.
Yeah, no, I see it right there. Angel Azale, really appreciate it. He said, Killer Instinct is very unique characters. I hope they make a proper Mortal Kombat like story mode. Yeah, no, that's the one thing that the game needs.
Yes.
Is a proper story mode because
the only thing that would bring me to Killer Instinct would be if they put Super Lucky Tail in it.
Stop it. Okay. All right. Well, that's when we know that we got to get out of here. And you know what? Just for you, they need to bring him in there, and now they've got to play it. So I'm going to make sure I hit up some Xbox people, and I'm going to say, look, man, hook this man up. He needs Super Lucky Tail. Just give him in there, give him a skin.
No, to be all honesty, they would have to put like
Conquer in there.
They would have to put like, you know, like what Mortal Kombat did, you know, by putting like the Terminator in there, Cop, Rambo, that kind of thing. If I wanted to ever play KI, they would need like that kind of like that nostalgia from the 80s that, you know, I grew up on.
Yeah, no,
well, you know what?
They could do a lot.
Microsoft could have two brawlers. So first of all, you have the mature brawler in Killer Instinct, and you have all the mature characters from Call of Duty.
That terminology
Halo.
is different.
But then
though.
you have
it's not a brawler is what Smash Brother is. But I know what you're trying to say.
Smash.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But you have the mature one, but then you also have the kiddie one where you have Crash Bandicoot, you have Banjo-Kazooie, you have Conker, you have Super Lucky, and you can have all these kid-friendly games that you have in your wheelhouse to put into the kiddie version of a brawler, and then of course you got the mature ones that you put into Killer Instinct.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
Because they do have a lot of kids that, even Spyro the Dragon can be in the kids thing, because we got Spyro and we have Crash Bandicoot.
Okay, so now I stand corrected. So yeah, no, I just got Dead or Alive 4 on Xbox because I looked it up because somebody in the chat sit there and called me out, says Dead or Alive 4, and I was like, well, hold on, wait a minute. I must be. I'm thinking about the other Dead or Alive because the first Dead or Alive was on PlayStation 1.
I thought it was Dreamcast.
No, it was on PlayStation 1. I got it. I got that. I know that for certain.
Huh.
And then Dead or Alive.
Dreamcast was Soul Calibur.
Well, yeah, it had Soul Calibur, but it had Dead or Alive as well. It had Dead or Alive 2.
Okay.
It must have been Dead or Alive 2, or some kind of like re-version of or like the high-end version of Dead or Alive 1. But Dead or Alive 1...
Bro, don't explain anything.
No, Dead or Alive 2. It had to be Dead or Alive 2.
Dead or Alive 4. That's what it is. That's why you never unlocked it, because Dead or Alive 4, that's all. Bro,
no,
just admit to it.
Yeah, no, I just said I don't remember.
Just own it up. Just own up to it, bro. Just own up to it, man.
I'm gonna unlock that shit. I'm gonna unlock that shit this weekend, though. I'm gonna sit
He's all gonna unlock it
because I know where my Dead or Alive 4 is. So you know what I'm saying. I know on my 360 Xbox, so I'm gonna get it. But I just got them all mixed up. I'm an old man, and I've been sipping on some sauce. So excuse me. But he was right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, no. But it was.
Don't forget the person, and don't forget the band that was always playing the theme song for each of the Dead or Alives, Aerosmith. All the way up until Dead or Alive 5, that's where they stopped.
Which I've worked with before. I've worked with Aerosmith.
Excellent. Excellent. And they said, and they got tired of your ass and got rid of you too. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
man,
let's get out of here, man. I said we had a great show. Thank you so much, man. With the three of us did it. It was fun as hell. Dark was on some other type of mess, some ish. So now we're gonna get the hell out of here. But man, thank you. Thank you for correcting me on talking about. He said you had what on PlayStation, and I said, hold on, let me look this up. This man might be correct. So I had to go ahead and get it together. So thank you for cooking me on the show, for letting me know, like, look, man, you stand corrected. You might be talking about DOA, the first DOA, but you ain't talking about DOA 4. So, yeah.
Don't forget to say his name, too.
I'm not saying that. You say that for me.
Dyslexopedia.
Yeah, Dyslexopedia. Okay, yeah. I knew the dyslexia, and it's like everything, all the shit got jumbled. You know, I'm dyslexic. So.
That's the encyclopedia that K Mega needs.
I do. Dyslexopedia. I need that. Anyway. Oh my goodness. Viper, man, appreciate you coming through, man. Where can they find you at, brother?
I'll probably be dealing with some more dead bodies. No, sorry.
Wow.
Damn.
You can find me on Xbox at RG Viper X, and also Steam as well. I am thinking that I may go do some deals this Cyber Monday to get some stuff for cheap. Because
I said I wasn't gonna buy no games, but what they got?
Well, the thing is, there's a 50% off on Xbox, or up to 50%. I can't say it's actually 50%, but that up to thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking for some stuff there. I'm trying to find some of the stuff on Steam and see if they've got anything. But I know Cyber Monday, it's going to be a lot better than what Black Friday has. So I think I'm waiting for the Cyber Monday sales. And you know what? Even the Christmas sales, we're going to get some of that.
Yeah, I'll be definitely done for that because I got to finish Christmas shopping. So, you know what I'm saying? Because my wife, she made a request on something that she wanted, and so I'm going to get her that and get a couple of other things, of course. But I might try to sneak and see what's on that Cyber Monday sale. See what's good and cheap. Might see something. But I did say that I wasn't buying no more games, so I said I was done. So,
but the key word is cheap. Remember that.
Yeah, cheap.
And if
It's
you
got to
can
be real cheap.
If you can get $3.99, that'll also be a good thing.
Oh yeah, no, that free is always warranted. Yeah, so but all right, let's
discount.
Yeah, oh no, I ain't stealing nothing. I'm too old to be doing that. Damn, what are you doing? This man talking about.
This man's trying to put you in jail, okay, Mega?
Yeah, he trying to get me put in jail. I ain't built for it no more. I'm too old for that. I'm too soft now.
If something fell off the back of a trunk, I mean,
hey,
possession is 9 tenths of the law.
Oh my God. Anyway, Dark Optimus, before we go ahead and get investigated, where can they find you at?
We're gonna get audited. That's
Right.
what's gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Dark Optimus. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation at the same name. And right now, you guys can find me playing Mass Effect first one. Right now, trying to go through all that. I don't know if we're gonna have a show next week for Bot, so I'm not gonna say it.
We don't know.
Have a show or no.
He might have a holiday for himself. I don't know what.
yeah. But you guys can always find me here on the GRG podcast every Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And as always, K Mega, it is a blast podcasting with you.
Oh, always, brother, always. Well, thank you guys so much.
8 p.m. God's time.
Yes. Yeah. Did he say what? 8 p.m. God's time.
I just always say I always
Central.
say Pacific and Eastern because why? They always forget about Central. I know, and I should probably put Central in there, but they just forget.
That's where all y'all gonna come when all hell break loose. Where y'all gonna come is down this way.
When we start,
ain't gonna know how to hunt. Y'all ain't gonna know how to fish. Y'all ain't gonna know how to.
I know how to hunt. I grew up. I know how.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Your man, that man gonna look at a fish. You far beyond that, man. I can see you right now. You put a fish in your hand, and then when you gotta
grew up in Michigan.
You gotta cart it up, or when you gotta grab a squirrel or a rabbit or something.
In Michigan.
Cut that bad boy up, get that fur off, get the cutting, getting them guts.
We used
out
to go
with that.
mud running in the
Squeeze
woods.
that.
Almost hit a tree several times.
That man gonna be squeamish. That man ain't gonna know what to do. He out there. He
Get out of here.
He true city folk.
No, I am not. Definitely not city folk. I hate the city, to be honest.
Oh man, I love the city. Actually, I'm a country boy still, but I do like the city. But anyway,
I like going there for work and visiting, but
oh my goodness. All right,
living there, nah.
Oh man. Well, all right, guys. Thank you so much. Like I said, Fight Night Sunday will return at the end of holidays. We will definitely be back getting to it. Everything should be squared away, ready to go. Looking forward to it. Got plenty of fighters to play, and then on top of that, Tekken, Grand Blue Rising, and I forget.
Grand Blue Rising.
And then there's another fighter that's coming from Bando Namkai. I am not going to try to. It's from an anime. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Jitsu. I think that's how you say it. Whatever. But I'm going to
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes, I'm going to be on that as well. If there's fighters, I'm going to be on it. So I hope you guys will come and check out their content. It will be on Twitch. And then on Twitter at KMember4. Let's try to get to that 5,000 before the end of the year. That'll be great. And man, episode 300. I thought we was going to try to do it before the end of the year, but when our first episode, most likely when we start, will be our 300th episode. And man, that is still shocking to me that I did this for this long to make it to 300. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Have a good one. Listen, it's the holidays. You don't need to be out in no club or doing anything, man. Still spend time with your family, have a good time, drink on something, do all that. You know what I'm saying? But now if you got a little nice hot one or something that you need to call on through to come sneak into the house, do what you got to do. Protect yourself, though, because K-Mega's all about that pants off, dance off. Everybody have a good one, man. Let's go, peace.
Hey, thanks for checking out the GRG podcast. All your gaming news and our special topic of the week. Make sure to join us every Friday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 p.m. Central, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. This was the GRG podcast.